What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? March 6th is the 91st anniversary of the proclamation to 2039. Thought y'all should know that for bank stock purposes. What's up, everybody? What's up, friends and family? Mr. BX87, your car. I appreciate you and I respect you. Dennis Star, Mary Alazzo, Junior Largy, Mario Elliott, Les. What up, Leslie? What's up? Missed last night's live stream, but caught it on the restream. Shout out to you. I've been putting timestamps in my live stream, so for anybody that missed it or anybody that feel like they didn't, they want to skip around, I've given you the option to do that. Even though I don't necessarily agree with it, I've been doing it. What up, friends and family? How y'all feel? What up, Roxy? Charles Pride, Big Dog, what it do? Hope you had a blessed and accomplished everything you set out to do today. Appreciate you when you carry yourself on all aspects and being an excellent person in every way. I appreciate you too, Charles Pride. I can't lie though, big dog. I am absolutely disgusted right now. And I'm gonna tell you why. We're gonna get into that. What up, Roxy? What up, Justin Anderson? Tech Noop, what's happening? Breakdown Media, I appreciate you. Spaces, I said Trap, right? What up, Trap? AR Smitty, what's happening? My dog Kojak, Gemini Thoughts, Empire Foundation. Um, Sean Jordan, what up? Dion Sardines, Fa Brown, what's happening? What's up, my friends? I appreciate y'all. Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights, I appreciate you. Brother Rob, Anon Nonan, Jack Covington, Universal Trappers, Boogie Down Productions will always get paid. Mario Elliott said, Jack Covington, what up? I changed your life, Mim. Yeah, Fa Brown be on me about them timestamps. He don't be giving me no time to actually put them in though. Those Detroit Rolls gave me a mind. The Detroit Rolls is actually pretty decent. How you feeling today, Anton? Your voice is coming back after hours with Anton Daniels. What up, Sid? Got something to say? My voice is out because yesterday I went to the Pistons game and I was yelling back and forth with the players on Cleveland, and so Nature Boy sentence. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. I don't know nothing about Nature Boy. What up, Cordy? Says just found your channel. Anton, what time you usually start these lives at? The after hours live streams is a little different. I try to start them sometime between 10 and 11 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then I'll alternate because I'll pick 2 days between Thursday and Saturday to live stream. So since I usually live stream on Thursday and like Saturday, but since I didn't get a chance to live stream on Thursday, I live stream on Friday and Saturday. So I try to pick a time between 10 and 11 p.m. Eastern. Chris, you got your teas yesterday? Shout out to Salvador, all my people. So before I get into the live stream, I kind of got to get my thoughts. I'm just a little frustrated, man, all right, let me try to contain myself and contain my thoughts so I can have an authentic conversation. Um, I really do hate this culture, but I love it at the same time. Actually, I like it so much that I can't get away from it, but I hate it. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's like rap music. Like I know that rap music is trash, it's horrible, but it's so addictive that you can't really get away from it. And then that kind of segments you into all of the aspects of the culture. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with women. I was listening to this woman, and I actually did a reaction video to her. It probably already dropped on the other channel. I don't know what time it's scheduled for. But I was listening to this woman, and she was basically breaking down how she was in a poly relationship. And it was so stupid because she created this whole diagram that, here, let me show y'all. I think I still got it. I'm going to just show y'all real quick. So this is her. I might be able to pull it up.
As fuck, y'all, but I know that many of you don't understand what that means. So I'm going to draw you a diagram to explain what my life looks like as a solo poly person. So I am at the center and I am my primary partner. There are people who I'm exploring, people who I'm dating, my friends with benefits who I'm romantic with and sexual with, my lovers who I'm sexual with, my partners who I'm 10 toes down with, satellites who come in and out of my life, and playmates who I play with in the kink and swinging spaces. My life is filled with so many beautiful people who love me, care about me, and all of our relationships are slightly different, but the love is the same. And when it comes to my sexual partners, of course, I am protecting myself by getting tested regularly. I'm currently on PrEP, and I give my partners my test results, and we talk about what our sexual experiences are to make sure that everybody involved is protected. Because if I were to do like other lines from certain partners, they have connections to wives or husbands or other partners that they interact with. So
this bitch said wives or I mean, listen, this is after hours, so we gonna really get to it. This bitch said wives and husbands, right? Now, I just threw this up on the screen so you don't see me right now, but I'm gonna come back, right? Shout out to the Solution Trucking channel, and I also got it pinned to the top of the chat. The Patreon, and for anybody that want to disagree with me or have some comments, you're more than welcome to come up in after hours. First of all, this bitch said wives and husbands, right? Secondly, she said she was on PrEP. Now I got a question, but let me just continue.
yes, it looks like a lot. Yes, I can keep up with it all. Yes, I have calendars. Yes, I make time for all of them. Yes, we communicate. That's a part of being poly. Of course,
Who the fuck? Now let me get this off my screen. Now here's my question. Who the hell has availability for all of that shit? You see how many lines she drawing? Yo, I watched that video and I was thinking to myself, it's over. It's over. It's completely over. I thought that on PrEP hold on, check it out. I thought that on PrEP means that either you have like HIV or a similar disease, or somebody else have it, or somebody else could have it because you got so many partners. And so somebody is trying to prevent somebody else from getting the disease. And so on PrEP kind of puts you in a position of where you're trying to prevent sexually transmitted diseases or STIs from continuing to spread amongst us, right? And they got 1,000 different partners, right? So let's just say, for example, she got 8 different people that she interact with, because she was talking about married couples and all of this shit, right? So let's assume that she got 8 different people that she interacting with. And in those 8 different people, each one of those got 8 different people that they interacting with. Bruh. And then every one of those people got 8 different people that they interacting with. Exponentially, you're dealing with thousands of people spreading themselves to you. And I don't know if y'all ever seen the movie Outbreak, but this is why everybody got herpes. This is why everybody got herpes. Because if everybody is fucking everybody, then nobody can absolve themselves of what everybody else got. And so we not even in the era of prevention no more. Everybody just doing everything. And she gonna fucking lie talking about, yeah, and we're all just sharing our test results. Shut the fuck up, man. I'm not going for that shit. And like, somebody gonna see, and it's a couple things that's gonna happen. At some point, number one, somebody gonna see her and they gonna see her walking down the street, or they gonna meet her somewhere and they gonna be like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Hey, beautiful. Hey, gorgeous. Or later on, they gonna reinvent themselves and then they gonna be having a conversation talking about they can't find a good man. It's so fucked up. It's so messed up. So listen, man, honestly, and it's so many things I see. Today was supposed to be a good day for me. Today, and it was largely 98% of the day was decent because I got out and I had the opportunity to go and record a lot of content, right? So obviously, from the videos that y'all seen, because I drop all of my stuff in real time. So from the videos that y'all seen, I was, downtown in Detroit. But when I'm downtown in Detroit and the weather permits, I don't have to use a car. So I caught the people mover, over into the queue line, had breakfast, recorded some content. Then I wanted to go and shoot some content at the Detroit Institute of Arts. And over here in Michigan, in Detroit, Macomb County, Oakland County, and Wayne County, which encompasses all of the Metro Detroit area, including the city, they all have access to one of the best art museums ever in the United States of America. A lot of people not familiar with the DIA, the Detroit Institute of Arts, but you can go and you can see all of the different paintings and everything like that from all over the world. And they beautiful, and artifacts and Roman and African and Asian and everything that you can possibly imagine. You can't see it all in one day. You can try, but it's free for us because it's a part of our millages, right? So it's a part of our taxes. You don't even notice it. So it's free for residents that's within the Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne County. And so this is one of the things that you should do, get creative when y'all going out and y'all kicking it with people and, you going on dates and relationships, which I wasn't going on a date. Rita just so happened to be down there, and so we was just chilling, and so we wound up just catching the queue line to it because I wanted to shoot some content. But it was a good day because I got a lot of content. I wound up vlogging. I got out in the streets. I met a lot of people. I kicked it with some cops that noticed me and said, "Yo, Anton, what up?" And then it was just a couple little things that just upset me, and it'll just try to throw your whole day off. But I've learned to contain myself, and everything is cool, man. So what up, Messi? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up to the bag chasers? What's up to your son? What's up to everybody? I looked at the stats on the herpes last night, and John Hopkins says 1 out of 6 in the U.S. No, it's more than that. It's way more than that. It's way more people that have that than that. It's a lot of people that's undetected. It's trash, bro. So be careful who y'all sleep with. That's the thing that I'm saying. Be careful who y'all sleep with. Be careful who y'all rock out with. I got some things that I want to share with y'all. First, let's start off with Candace Owens, because I heard that she was saying that she went on Joe Budden's. She went on Joe Budden's spot, but she kind of went in on why she's perceived a certain way, and she shouldn't be perceived a certain way. So I want to show that real quick. Give me a second. All right, so let me share this real quick. I'm gonna pull it up. Shout out to y'all too for holding me down and kicking it with your boy and rocking out and all of the dope stuff that we got happening out here in these streets. All right, let's see if I can get this up. Oh, I know what's wrong. Give me a second. Give me a second. I got you. All right.
Does still slap, you guys. Why am I playing it? Because, well, I told you, I am having the blackest week ever. And in that song, he talks about his mom, loves to show him off, smiles every time my face is up in the source. Well, guess what, guys? My face is up in the source. Check out these headlines. I've been just really trying to get into black media and have them say something nice about me, and it happened. This first from the source. Candace Owens on Beyonce's country music. She's more country than Taylor Swift ever was. Next headline over here in Vibe. Candace Owens defends Beyonce. Says she's more country than Taylor Swift. Yes, guys, 2 positive headlines, and we are celebrating because I also have a ton of media booked up. Look, this is a picture of me and Joe Budden yesterday. It actually happened. We sat down. I'm going to tell you about that discussion. I don't think it's going to air for another week, but I'm going to give you guys the scoop. But first, I want to also point to this moment because I do think that this is a sign that something bigger might be happening in black media. I really do. I think that within black America, people are starting to listen and to understand that our minds have been polluted. Really, to our own disadvantage. We have been protesting and looting because we have been lied to routinely. And a moment that recently happened was that Piers Morgan sat down with Charlemagne the God of the Breakfast Club, and he just dropped some facts. It was a wonderful moment. Take a listen to it.
You mentioned Obama. So this is an interesting little question I always throw people. Interesting if you guys know the answer. How many immigrants, illegal immigrants, did Barack Obama deport in his 8 years as president?
Oh, I don't know.
Have a guess.
No clue.
No clue. Interesting, right?
Read
the
that it was more
the
than
answer
Trump.
is over 3 million.
Damn.
He was known as deporter-in-chief by Mexicans.
Yes. And that was more than Trump did.
He deported way more than Trump.
I
He
read
deported way more pro rata than any president in history. Who dropped the most bombs in a calendar year in American history?
Oh, come on. President Barack Obama.
Barack Obama,
Yeah,
right? Including drone programs and so on, right? Who got elected in 08, 09 on shutting down Guantanamo Bay? Because as a former lawyer, he believed it was an illegal institution.
President
Barack
Barack
Obama.
Obama, yeah.
What is still open today?
Guantanamo Bay?
Correct, right? I know that the general thing is Obama, angel, Trump, devil.
Right.
But if you actually apply the scrutiny that we give Trump, put it this way, if Trump had deported 3 million people, you think you guys wouldn't know that answer? Of course you would, right? Nobody knows that answer because nobody thought that way about Saint Barack.
But you know what the interesting thing about that is that when you sit here and you have this conversation with people and you talk in truth and you say, well, the very thing that you say that you hate Trump for is the thing that Obama championed and you loved him for it. And as a matter of fact, one of the common narratives for Barack Obama amongst the blackety black people is that he didn't do anything for black people, but y'all still support the very person that was standing next to him while he was in the White House for 8 years. And then we had an additional 4 years of Joe Biden, which is basically a 12-year span of our lives that we've had of an influence of Joe Biden, largely championed by and leapfrogging off of the backs of what it is that y'all voted for with Obama. And the very thing that Trump was doing, some of the things that he adopted based off of the Obama presidency, is the thing that y'all hate Trump for. And then subsequently, you hate Candace Owens and me and whoever it is that's black that absolutely, positively supports the very thing that you supported before Trump even got into office. Ain't that crazy? Isn't it insane? Isn't it crazy how you guys are so, and I'm not even talking about y'all in the chat or the bag chasers. It's amazing to me how we're so sheep that we can't even think for ourselves, and it takes for somebody to create a slogan like Black Lives Matters for y'all to come together and then to vote for the thing that's not even in your interest. Or to vote based off of hating somebody else. And then you take somebody like Candace Owens, right? Who the black community and black culture for a long time is basically painted the prototype, shout out to you, Anwar, is painted the prototype of what women are supposed to be like as far as their loyalty, their ability to communicate, not having a whole lot of makeup, wearing their natural hair, standing on principle as far as what traditional wives, and actually being able to think for ourselves, also thinking logically and being able to articulate why she's more conservative than liberal. We don't like. I just showed y'all the video of a chick that's poly, that's fucking everybody, and everybody in the chat said, oh my God, that is so bad. And then you got a Candace Owens who literally has done nothing to anybody except for have a conversation about the fact that Black Lives Matter was a fraud organization, which it was, and the very thing that she supports is the thing that's best for black people, which it is. Yet she has to intentionally go and seek out black media to clear her name on the idea that black people are now starting to wake up to the possibility that we've been doing it wrong all this time. But they never gonna come back and say, you know what? We was wrong about Candace, or we was wrong about Anton. I never, ever, the only time that I hear people wind up backtracking on what it is that they said is when I cam up on them and I come at them. When I cam up and I come after people, Then they be like, and they still don't admit it. I just waxed the fucking floor with them, and then they be feeling some type of way. But the reality is, I've never ever seen one person ever come back to the front of the congregation and say, you know what, I was off, or he was right on that, and I communicated it wrong, or Candace Owens was right about Black Lives Matters, or we should have never even bought them shirts in the first place, or we got finessed, because nobody's asking for a refund from Black Lives Matters. I've not seen one person, not one person, come back and say, you know what, I voted for Joe Biden and I was wrong. I bought the Black Lives Matters t-shirt. I was out there marching during COVID, and I shouldn't have been out there because it should have been 6 feet, no check. I have not seen one person, not one, admit that they was off on anything. And it's crazy. It's insane.
I love that moment so much for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, the fact that they are open to hearing it, right? Because you have certain people within Black America that are just deemed untouchable, and for whatever reason, Barack Obama is, which means that the media and their celebration of Obama, oh, he's so wonderful because he speaks well, was able to cast a spell. That's the truth. Cast a spell on Black America, made us believe that this was a champion for our rights. Meanwhile, there has never been a president that has dropped more bombs on Black and brown people in the Middle East. That is just a fact, and it's something that makes people uncomfortable. Yes, it is a fact that he deported over 3 million people. And yet when Donald Trump said, I'm just going to build the wall, we're not even going to talk about deportation, people freaked out, called him racist, called him xenophobic. And it was really interesting for me to have sat down with Joe Budden yesterday. I honestly think our interview went on for 3 hours to really sort of get into that consciousness. What is it that makes you so angry when you see a Black Trump supporter? Because that is the source of all of the hatred for me in Black America. How dare you support Donald Trump when the media told us that he was bad? How dare you not say great things about Obama when the media told us that he was great? And to go through that process and to recognize this alarming paradox within Black America that we are the most politically incorrect individuals, if you just want to assess out.
Is everything pinned to the top of the chat as far as the Patreon? I'm not in the, I can't see it right now because I don't have it pulled up. I'll pull it up in a minute. I want to make sure that the link for y'all to be able to ask y'all questions and everything is pinned to the top of the chat. And I'm going to read that super chat shortly. I just want to make sure it's pinned. So y'all let me know if it's pinned to the top of the chat, please.
Our culture and our music. And yet when it comes to politics, we demand political correctness. We demand to be lied to. And I said that to Joe Budden when he said, oh, even if that's true regarding a situation pertaining to Donald Trump, even if that's true, he shouldn't say it. I pressed him on that. I said, so what are you saying? Are you suggesting that we should be lied to? Are you suggesting that it's good to be lied to as long as it sounds good? And I think you'll find his answer to that to be pretty interesting. And that really is the question for all Americans.
Do we want to be lied to? Just curious. All right, it's pinned. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Messi. Thank you, Mr. BX. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody. Do we like being lied? Do we prefer to be lied to? I've always believed that it was best to just be real. That's why I live my life like an open book. Do you know that that's the reason? That's one of the reasons why I don't have like an alias online. Have y'all noticed that? Most people, you wind up finding out what their real name is, but I don't have an alias. Like I never came in like the supercomputer or the crazy stock guru or Mr. Fly Guy or all of this stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. Half of these people, 90% of the people online, y'all don't know their real names. And people will get pissed if you discover their real name. People get pissed when you discover their real names. I came into the game as Anton Daniels. Listen, you look up whatever you want to look up on me. I ain't got nothing to hide. I ain't tripping. I'm just me. Like, I'm Anton. I'm from Detroit. I'm 41 years old. This is my net worth. This is what my bank accounts look like. This is what my brokerage accounts look like. I got a regular job, 2 on top of it. I got 8 sources of income. I got these properties that I'm building. This is what I do, whatever, so on and so forth. Like, from birth, from the beginning. And it's almost for people, it's like I think that people are so used to being lied to that they've found comfort in the lie versus what the truth would be. Right? So much so to where like you're not a real person if you don't have an alias or a rap name or none of that, right? Like we think Future name is Future. He named his son Future instead of naming his son Nadavius or whatever his name is. I just always been me. And I even believe that when it comes to women and relationships, like I've always just been real. And so when you see me talk online, this is what my real thoughts are. Hey, listen, I love women and I'm married. That's just life. And most men think the same way. They just don't have the balls to tell you the truth. Hey, look, I love being around beautiful women. And I'm not gonna not look because my eyes still work and I'm still attracted to all of these beautiful women. Now I have dick discipline, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have dick discipline. But I'm not gonna cut my eyes off and act like that's not a source of my inspiration. Who the fuck don't want to be around beautiful people that got a sweet spirit too on top of it? You know what I'm saying? But then if I say that shit out loud, oh my God, he's so disrespectful. No, the nigga that's disrespectful is the nigga that's fucking somebody on the side that's telling you what you want to hear, but in reality, you fucked up at home. But then they say, well, Anton, you crazy. No, I deal in reality, and then I give you a solution to live the best life possible. And it's the same thing when it comes to politics. It's the same thing when it comes to Candace Owens. It's the same thing across the board. Like, people should want to live in truth. Yeah, 45 from Nigeria and not 41 from the D. Exactly. I don't know why people don't want to live in truth. Let's just be real. Let's be real. And then let's find a solution on top of it. But here's what's real. The migrant crisis is fucking y'all over. And it's going to be the middle class that suffer as a result of it. $40,000 ain't going to be enough to be able to survive as an individual, let alone be able to feed a family. And so, you know, it's people are weird because they want to be lied to. Like, even women, they want you to tell them a lie. They believe the guy that they know that that's lying to them online, but tell them what they want to hear versus the guy that tell them the truth that would allow for you to actually get to the results.
Right now, does it make us
B Love says, Anton, I respect all that, but we all do hide some things online. Nobody's clean. Like what? Ask me whatever you want to ask me. Anybody can come up on, listen, I'm so real. You don't know one content creator, not one, that has the visibility that I have and is willing to let anybody come up here and either debate me, hold me accountable, or say what they want to say to me. So even think about it like this. Even the people that may make videos, of course, lying about me, but of course, you can't do nothing about that because anybody can say anything that they want. But even people that make videos about me, have you ever asked yourself, how come they don't come up here and actually talk to you face to face, Anton? Have y'all ever thought about that? Like, why are people so afraid of me, but at the same time, they willing to say whatever it is that they want to say to me or about me? The link is literally in the chat. I'm talking to you in real time right now. I drop the link every single day. I have zero secrets. Zero. Why are people so scared to do it then? Zero. My entire life is an open book. Sean Spillman is coming up. Let me read a couple of the super chats before I allow for people to be able to come up. Solutions Trucking Channel says, I switched over to the night shift, so I missed MML show live, but thank God for after hours. You get me through the night, big dog. I appreciate you. Shout out to the Solution Trucking Channel, and make sure y'all go and check them out. Joshua says, not to be awkward, but Candace low-key fine to me. That ain't awkward. She fine as fuck. I love her. Also, Bite My Shiny Metal Ass says, came in to say, keep pushing the message. I'm 23 years old with a shout out to you, family, with that 100 bands. Just came to the Bag Chasers yesterday. Hey, shout out to all of the people that joined the Patreon. I'm doing the after hours. I'm sorry, after hours. Stock Club tomorrow on Sunday. Sean, what's up?
How you doing, brother?
I'm chilling, my friend. How you feel?
Man, blessed. I first want to give you a salute. I found out about you through Angry Man and Israel Mills, and just been following your page. And I really congratulate people like you and Candace that speak the truth in the face of power, even though it's not a popular position.
Yo, Sean, you got a look. You got a dope look.
Thank you, brother.
You
Thank
wanna be on camera?
Oh yeah. Am I cammed up now?
I'm about to make sure that you up real quick. Give me a second. Yo, what up, Sean?
Peace, brother. Peace and blessings. Listen, I guess
Hold on, wait a minute. You making me look bad because you got the grays and your shit is in the man bun.
Yours has got the salt and pepper. That's
Let
the way to
me
win.
go get my other glasses out here in these streets, man.
Let me give you credit. I found out about you through Angry Man and Israel Mills. I watched both those their channels. I've known both of them about 30 years. Been friends with
Really?
them. Yes, and so it was Angry Man that was suggesting to Israel and I in about 2017 to get in with him on the YouTube, and it's a lot of energy that went into the conversation. We met in Raleigh, and I'm proud of Angry Man. I mean, he's an icon in the game. So are you as well.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, but there is a trend in the in the Black community, has historically been, in my observation, that a lot of Black people don't want to be told the truth, especially by either white people or people of their same race. Now, some people will say, especially Black people, which I don't care. If you ask Angry Man in Israel, they'll tell you my background. W. Du Bois wrote a book called The Ways of White Folks, even though he wasn't white. So through observation, my observation has been a lot of Black people get offended when somebody speaks the truth. Minister Farrakhan has been saying the same thing for 40, 50, 60 years that Candace Owens.
Exactly. He has.
Yeah. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I love dialoguing with you. But I also watched a thing with you when you were talking about the migrant crisis in Chicago. And I did a reaction to it because you gave a systematic breakdown of how this is affecting Black people. Yep. I'm getting ready to have a debate locally here in North Carolina, and most of the people that are against, listen, brother, most of the people that are against me on this are Black people. One gentleman asked,
really?
Oh yeah, and listen, he says, and that's crazy because he says, oh, why would they replace Black people when they're brown themselves? I said, if you don't know, the agendas are different. We're not really getting caught up into the hue, but yeah. So your show is powerful, brother. How do I get in contact? Can you inbox me an email or number? I'd like to interview you.
My email is antondaniels413@gmail.com. And let me give a shout out to your channel. It's called Reactions by Sean Spillman. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Very, very small. I just reacted to it, reacting to music and. But if I can give 20-second history, Israel.
Do your thing, bro. You listen. I always love to show love to people.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I got a lot of respect. Yeah. So Israel and I years ago, in Raleigh and in North Carolina, started a DVD, like a smack DVD called "Foaming at the Mouth."
Okay.
And I still have that YouTube channel up. But that's when we had to go out and interview people in the streets, and you had to sell the DVDs, kind of like the Smack or the Come Up, Fendi and them.
Yep.
And so we hit the East Coast. We made a little presence in our little pocket, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. But because we didn't keep up with the time and technology went to the internet, that I'm trying to get back into more of the interviewing side, because I think I just love dialoguing with people. My big passion is I love interviewing people. And I think that you have such a great spirit. We come up here with our names.
Yep.
There's no hidden agenda. We don't have nicknames like some of our friends.
Yeah.
I love them both. I'm not taking jabs. Those are my brothers. But so, I just think right now it's a crucial time. Not that this matters to the public, but I'm married to a black woman, and 80% to 90% of my income goes to black businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of my clientele are black people, but that's still not, for me, I'm unapologetic in my opinion.
Yep.
I'll say this humbly and as aggressively as I can. I know that sounds like a contradiction, right? But all my life growing up, I would say that black people were on the moral side of the argument 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
However, today I can't say that.
Mm.
It's mind-boggling. We can get into the breakdown of the family, we can get into the influence of the music today, but brother, when I was growing up, black people were builders,
Yeah.
and black people had a pride and a dignity and a love for community and self that is almost diminishing today. And some people get offended when people say that. Candace
No,
is like the
it's
old
true.
preachers.
It's
Yeah.
true. No, I think it's true, and it's funny that you're saying that because I was at the DIA, which is Detroit Institute of Arts, and I
Okay.
try to go at least 2 or 3 times a year. And they usually get new exhibits or new art in or whatever, so on and so forth. That's sponsored by somebody that curates a collection and brings in their collection or whatever. And it's awesome. Like it's so much to see. But they had a new exhibit that was called the Regeneration, I think. And I had never seen it before, and it was my first time, and so it was relatively new. And what it did was it went through and it broke down the history of black people in film. And so I got a chance to kind of go through it and observe it. And I was watching it, I was seeing, the history of certain things, and it was showing, the way that they had to enter into certain venues. And, they went through all of the different people and the performers, and it showed some silent films and stuff. And it kind of had me in awe, not necessarily to see, in that, oh man, this is what happened, because I'm largely familiar with what happened, how things played out. But it had me in awe because I was comparing it to how productive and how things were when people had a lot more pride about what it is that they were doing and what they represented versus what I see happen in the day. And so it actually speaks to what you were just saying, and that it was a different type of edge that people had, not just black people, all people. It was just a different type of edge that they had, and what it is that they was doing and what they represented, even if they were wrong, even if people were wrong, um, it was meaningful to them. You could tell you were able to have a conversation with somebody, or you could have a conversation. Even today, when I talk to people, I'm not looking for everybody to agree with me. But what I
Right.
am looking for is to get on an honest conversation from people, because that maybe gives me some insight, because I may even be wrong about something. But if I'm not open-minded to the possibilities, it's difficult for me to actually grow. And I don't think that any growth is what we're seeking anymore. I think what we're seeking is just to be validated. And there is no
Right.
growth in validation.
Right. Wow, that's powerful because uh with, I think it's Mark Lamont, correct me if I'm wrong, but like he's real active on the Palestinian Israel issue and just calling out people for who they are.
Yeah.
But one thing I admire about him and you, or you and him, is that you guys dialogue without taking it personal. If you look at some of the other channels that are out there on YouTube, they're like echo chambers, right? If you
Yeah.
don't agree, they block them. I just have a quick question for you. I don't know if I asked it yet. Okay, so is it true? I don't know where I heard this from. Is it true that Dr. Umar was going to try to charge you $30K to debate him?
No, that's not true.
That's not true. Okay.
That's not true.
Because that was, listen, brother, that was on, thank you for being honest, because a lot of us, I was on a show and they were reiterating that, or kept saying that. So I wanted to ask you firstly, but if I can say this, and then I'll try to humbly bow out. Dr. Umar is as brilliant as he is.
Mhm.
I think he's got it right on his argument about children in school, black children, i.e., black boys in school, and the psychological effects and all. He's right on that. I agree with him 100%. I've actually studied his argument, and I agree with that. However, there is, I hate to say armchair philosophers because the brother is brilliant, but
Mhm.
when I was growing up, When black people said something, they went and built it next, right? And everybody's so hard on the black Christians or the black church, right? But I would humbly argue, as being a practicing Muslim, I was a practicing Muslim for 25 years. And I say this to argument to anyone. Name me a group or a community who's built more, right? See, black people during segregation built hospitals, schools, and when you think about it from that aspect, it's really amazing how people criticize builders, right? And that's not getting into the whole W. Du Bois, Frederick Douglass, depending on the argument of it. But thank you for clearing that up. I just wanted to say that. And one last note. Do you remember the Tom Joyner show?
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me because I'm so excited to talk to you. Do you remember they used to have that little skit when they would ask the white guy what's going on in white America?
No, I don't remember the details of Tom Joyner show. I do remember listening to it a little bit when I was on the way to school in high school some of the times, but I don't remember the details of it.
That was crazy because I'm like you, brother. If you ever need me just to give my honest, raw opinion on the minds and the ways of white folks, I'm all game for that. Because I think what happens is, as much as black and white people have a unique relationship in America with all the different dynamics, right? Unlike any other two groups of people in America, there's still a lot of fear and unknown on both sides, right? That people are just afraid to speak about. I mean, just afraid. God bless you, brother. Thank you for your time.
Man, thank you for coming up, man. And you're more than welcome to always come up. Again, let me mention your channel real quick. It's called Reactions by Sean Spillman. Spillman with one L. Sean, S-H-A-W-N. Spillman, S-P-I-L-M-A-N. Make sure y'all go and tap in with Sean. I always like to support content creators, man. Thank you, my friend, for coming through. I appreciate it, bro.
It's been an honor. Thank you, brother. Do I let you sign me out, or how does this work? I click out?
No, I could take it out. I could remove it.
God bless you. Have a great evening.
Yep. And anybody and shout out to Sean, anybody is more than welcome to be able to come up here and give their thoughts, especially if they disagree with me. You're more than welcome to be able to give your thoughts based off of that. Let me get back into this Candace Owens situation, and then I'm going to read some more super chats shortly. Back to where she was. Shout out to Sean.
Sounds good. And I think you'll find his answer to that to be pretty interesting. And that really is the question for all Americans right now. Does it make us uncomfortable to hear the truth? Yes, but would we rather be told lies? I think for a lot of people, yeah, they just want to exist in their little bubbles. They want to believe that everything that America is doing overseas is irrelevant or it is furthering democracy. We're spreading democracy because it's scary. It's scary to go the other way. It's scary to recognize that there is an entire system of, honestly, what I believe to be sheer evil that is operating above us. It's scary to consider that the CIA might be completely corrupt. It's scary to consider that they may have been the people that made the decision to have a sitting president killed, JFK Jr. It's scary to consider that they may have had everything to do with the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., an insane story of how Martin Luther King Jr. was killed. We have never had answers about that. And yet that same government who could have been involved in that assassination then gives us Martin Luther King Jr. Day as what? Oh, here you are. Here, just to make you happy to show.
Can we say that she one of the realest ever?
That you're actually progressing. We're going to give you a day off. That's not progress, guys. It's stupidity. And the emotionality, the persistent emotionality of not just Black Americans, but all Americans regarding topics, emotionality that is not backed by facts, that is not.
Oh, and man, I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna read that comment in 1 second. I just want to get the thoughts of the rest of the thoughts of Candace Owens.
Backed by history is why the government is able to do these sorts of things. Is why the government is able to completely run over what the people want and to expand and fulfill their own initiatives overseas, even when we don't back it. Look at Ukraine. The American people are saying no. They don't care. They constantly are telling us to get to work because we're going to do what we want anyway. They're operating like a mafia, right? And that's scary for a lot of people to consider because we know what that means. When you are willing to tell the truth, the mafia will take you out, right? But we're coming to a place right now. I genuinely feel this in my soul. I have said this to my husband. I expressed this to Joe Budden, and I say this to everybody, that for the first time, I think people are starting to wake up. And this was best demonstrated to me the other day when I did a live talking about the birth control industry, talking about the government incentive to sterilize women and recognizing that it has been by and large successful via the pollution in public education, making sure people can't read but they feel women's health, my reproductive rights, my body, my choice. Propaganda created by governments and corporations to make sure that you poison yourself, that you can't have as many kids as they used to be able to have before this poison existed. The poison that's in our food, Monsanto. For the first time ever, people are starting to take a stance and starting to recognize that. So I remain optimistic every single day. And I express this to Joe Budden, not just for Black America, but for all of America, because for the first time, it feels like we are ready to hear the truth. And for that, I am grateful for COVID. I am grateful for how far the government went with censorship. I am grateful for how far they went in terms of trying to have autonomy over our bodies. We no longer had autonomy. They were trying to force vaccinate people. They were trying to demand vaccination in the workplace. And I think what happened is they overplayed their hand, and we're on the brink of a mass awakening. So
I think that Candace Owens is a national treasure. I think that she's a gem. Very few things I disagree with her. There has been some things that I disagree with her on in the past. The way that she handled my man that was getting a divorce, it was the white guy that was getting a divorce. I forgot what his name is. But the way that she tried to paint him in that situation, I disagree with her about. But overwhelmingly, I agree with her on almost every single thing that she says, especially about the culture of the Black community and holding ourselves accountable. I am not as optimistic as she is about Black people waking up. I'm not. I'm not as optimistic even a little bit. I want to highlight one thing before I bring in Chris. I see you in the back. Let me read a couple of these super chats. Yashua Anton brought Santa Moses on cam. Yeah, he was dope. I like his man bun and the beard and all of that. He got the whole vibe popping. Chris says he tells the truth. Black people hate the truth. That's a fact. I'm going to bring you up in a minute, Chris. Magnum Group Times Vibes Lounge says, we are not seeking growth, but comfort. Salute, bro. I salute you too, my friend. Thank you for supporting the platform. Yashua says, all jokes aside, he seems dope. Yeah, he was dope. OMA, I wanted to say this real quick. He says, just interviewed Dr. Umar. Lil Yachty just interviewed Dr. Umar. Now I know a full fact he's not serious. I don't think even a little bit that Dr. Umar Johnson cares as much as he's saying about the things that he preaches about, because it's not reflected in what it is that he's actually doing. I think that he's successfully used that in order to continue to promote himself and keep people distracted long enough to where he can continue to get the visibility that he wants, which is one of the reasons why you see him on Lil Yachty's platform. He's going to sell you on the idea that he's leveraging the platforms to get more visibility to the cause that he really stands for. But I think that Dr. Umar Johnson has been really, really successful in promoting himself to being a speaker rather than anybody that's actually truly doing something for the community. So I don't really rock with Umar at all. Sean says, great show and keep up the great work. Thanks again for having me on the show. No, thank you for coming through, Sean. And thank you for hooking me up and making sure that you're taking care of the platform, big dog. I don't ask for it, but I always like to highlight the people that's holding me down. You are much, much appreciated. I also want to give a shout out to Daryl Pullins. Shout out to Daryl Pullins for holding me down on Cash App. Thank you, my friend, for supporting the platform. Chris, what's going on, Chris?
What's going on, Anton?
Chilling, my friend. What's the word?
Nothing much. Is my mic? It's all good. Mic check, mic check.
You good? I can hear you beautifully.
Hey, man, I just wanted to introduce myself first and foremost, and I wanted to contribute to the conversation about Umar Johnson because I think I have a unique perspective with him and his story and what's to go on with it. But first things first, let's start off with Umar Johnson to say I do not agree with his message now, but I did then because it was an emotion. I'm just be honest with you. It was emotion. But to kind of tell you a little bit of the story of why I agree with Umar Johnson and some of the things he says good points, but it's misled at the end. Understand? I found out about Umar Johnson when I was in high school, and he's been talking about building this school since I was in high school.
You don't believe in the school?
Man, I'm trying not to cuss, Anton. I'm trying. You almost had me right there. Big dog, no. What the school is? Oh, hit the cash app. Hit the cash app. Cash app. Cash app.
I
Down
mean,
there, y'all.
I don't have any problem with him promoting himself, but I do have a problem that he promoting himself under the guise that he's building a school. I just don't believe in it.
Exactly. And then I'm gonna tell you, he said something back then that sounded so wrong now, clear as day. He said, y'all don't know what to do with y'all kids. Drop y'all kids off of here, and then we don't let you see your kids until the summer. What? Now, as a kid, that made sense because I was ignorant. I just wanted to go against the world.
Yeah.
But now that I'm an adult, what is you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
You can't have, honestly, I'm trying not to get on your platform and bash him like that because
You can
honestly, I
say whatever
support him.
you
I
want.
did.
This your thoughts. You say what you feel like is best.
Let's call a buck then. I mean, let's call a spade, man. I mean, the dude lied. The dude is straight out lying to people because he makes valid points like you alluded to the other night that when he, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought in that moment because I want to get so much out in
Oh,
that
do your
moment.
thing. Do your thing.
But basically, in a nutshell, I'm gonna tell you where I agree with it because it's so easier to explain why I agree with Umar Johnson versus why I disagree with him. Because once you see where I agree with him, you can really see. Once I took the emotional aspect out of it I
Mm-hmm.
was able to see what his true intent, at least from my perspective, was. So, I mean, I'm just to start by saying, Anton, you kind of know what I said, but I'll share it with the chat as well, if you don't mind, what the story that I sent you. You probably, I don't know if you looked into it any or not, but I will say that I lost my dad when I was 6 in
Yeah.
kindergarten, in the summertime. So my dad, Greg Sr., he died when I was 6. So first grade, I mean, I did have behavioral problems. I wasn't going to sit here and sound like I'm the most angel. I was getting in trouble in the school, but it did accelerate in that summer when I did lose my dad.
Okay.
I lost my dad, and I was acting out in terms of losing to him because understand, Anton, I lost him when I was 6. I was so childish.
Okay.
I was over there. I was so childish. I was in the funeral telling my brother and the cousins and stuff, talking about, look at y'all over here crying. Y'all told me it wasn't cool to cry.
Mm-hmm.
That's how young I was. I didn't care about anything besides the fact that these folk, my brother and my cousin is over here crying. That was my main focus. And when my mom told me that I would never see my dad again, because I didn't know what death was. That was my first introduction. And I was like, see him again.
Mm.
And then and basically buried him and all that and whatnot. But fast forward first grade. First grade, I was doped up on medication, adult medication.
What
I
adult
was a dope
medication? What adult?
Seroquel, Abilify, and there was another medication as well that was to deal with ADHD. But for me, that was so early on in first grade. That was when my brain was still developing. And understand, yes, I was sleeping in class, but I was grieving. Honestly, I wasn't there in class to learn. I was in there to disrupt.
Mm.
I was angry and upset, and I wanted to take it out on the
So
world.
do you
And
do
I
you
wanted them
think
to.
that the way that you was raised influenced the thing that you supported in Umar Johnson?
Yeah, because he played that off of that because that's what he told a story that me and him both could connect on, that we were misused by the school system. And that is a fact that we were misused by the school system because I can use their argument, what they taught me, the
Mm.
control group. Kindergarten, we had nap time. First grade, we don't.
Okay.
So we didn't have a control group to compare my behavior to. First grade was his first of its own, where you really kindergarten is ready to introduce you into the behavior of the school, and then in my mind, first grade is really where you really start taking off the learning and making sure all the kids and stuff are on the same page just that way. So the medication, I used to fall asleep, and like you said the other day, when kids they develop good things. So me, I developed good math skills because I slept during the day because of those high doses of medication. I used to be good at spelling. I took pride in spelling. Anton,
Okay.
if you couldn't spell, you couldn't talk to me. But eventually I got behind because you know why? No kid left behind. No kid left behind didn't allow us to
So,
learn
so,
from my situation.
okay, so let's bring it back to your original thoughts, right? Because I want to understand.
About Umar.
Yeah, I want to
Okay,
understand.
let's go back to Umar. Let me tie it back to Umar for you.
Okay.
Dr. Umar made the point of this is Ritalin, this is crack. I went back and did my research. It was one molecule off of from Ritalin and crack and stuff like that. It looks very similar. Hence, that's why he told me the reaction that I was getting was sleepy.
Okay.
And guess what? I got obese as well. And I got behind in school as well. So for me, I won't say never. Yeah, I would say never. Me, I never really cared about school from that point on. Not that he told me that in the first grade, but for me, I knew that that medication wasn't working for me,
Okay.
and I didn't. And I felt out of place, and I felt unheard, and nobody would listen to me at the time to telling me like, this is not working, guys. I know y'all saying that I'm grieving, but this is not working. And I never had anybody to slow down and speed up with me. And then when I heard Dr. Umar, it sounded so familiar. I thought he was speaking my language until I graduated from high school and this school ain't built. And this man, I remember him walking past a building that had nothing in it. And I'm pretty sure if you drive past that building, ain't nothing done either. It was
So
10
so
years
you
until he
saying
started bringing it up.
you saying that you don't care for Umar Johnson because you feel as though
No,
he gave you the wrong perspective of what the
exactly.
solution was for somebody like you that ultimately believed in it
Right,
off of what was being communicated to you.
right. And then I see it as a money grab for him to finance his lifestyle.
I got you. Well, I can't dispute that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you feel what you feel when you think what you think, and so I think we all got opinions of what's happening and um, of what's going on out in these streets, and I understand, man. I get it. I understand.
Right. And I'm like I said, I'm no angel. And that was something that on me that I had to figure out. My approach to life was wrong. And I had to figure that out and find this. And I'm still finding it out now. But now that I find that, I make those adjustments and don't be continued to lie to. Or if I don't agree with his perspective, change and tell him why and be real about it. That's the problem. There's nothing wrong with, and this is what I want you to start letting people know. We're not here to debate. We're here to engage in a Socratic format.
Oh no, I
That's all we're
definitely
here to
like
do.
debating too. I like debating all day long.
Me too, and I like to debate too. Honestly, Anton, I want to debate with you, but a lot of times I don't want you to think that I'm not willing to listen and learn from you. So most of the time, that's why I stop myself from coming up there because a lot of times I probably disagree with this much of your argument, and I just want to see what you think about that. For me, I just want to dig deep on one aspect of your argument sometimes, man. But honestly, you're a cool dude. Thank you for allowing me on the platform, most definitely, man. And honestly, I want to come back on your platform more, man, and you know, be able to learn from you. And we gauge in that Socratic format and learn from each other. Iron sharpens iron. It's okay, long as we don't poke each other with the iron.
Yep, I got you. All right, thank you, my friend. Thank you for coming up to the platform, bro.
Most definitely. Hey, one more thing while I'm on here.
Okay.
This is where you got. It was embarrassing yesterday when I asked you that question because I had to realize OG got to teach a young G how to use Discord, man. So can you break that down? Because honestly, I'm confused on what you meant by that. You got to break it down to me from a C student perspective.
On you being able to use the
Like,
Discord.
yeah, because how is it supposed to? Is you or do you normally just say like, "Hey, I'm finna drop this in the Discord"? Can
Well,
you
the Discord is supportive to the Patreon, and that it allows for us to have more extensive conversations. And so basically, it's a server that's sorted by threads, right? And the threads got different subjects on it. And so if you want to talk about cryptocurrency, if you want to talk about business, if you want to talk about interviewing for specific jobs, whatever it is, it's all separated by threads, stocks, so on and so forth. And then you just select a different thread, and then you just become a part of the community depending on the conversation that's being had. But you basically just sign up for the Discord or sign into the Discord, and then you subscribe to my particular server, and then that allows for you to continue the conversation with the community that we all building together. That's all.
Okay. Okay. How do I find your server? That's. I guess that's the more
So
in depth question I'm trying to find.
the link to the Discord, to my specific Discord, is in the description of any of the most recent videos in the Patreon.
Oh, okay. That's where I've been missing it. I've been looking at it in YouTube, and it's not the YouTube, it's the Patreon. I wasn't listening, Anton. See, that's right there. I wasn't listening.
It's in the Patreon. So just click the description of any of the most recent videos in the Patreon, and then you can find the Discord.
Most definitely, man. Thank you, brother. Salute.
Thank you, friend. All right, so let's continue. Shout out to all of the people that call into the platform and give their thoughts, and I'm gonna be leaving the link in the description for y'all to be able to give y'all thoughts throughout the show. So if you have a discussion or you have something that you disagree with me about, you're more than welcome to be able to cam up. I'm thinking that this is going to be a pretty long show, at least probably 2.5 to 3 hours. And we're going to get there. So if y'all not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I want to get into this because somebody this kind of starting to pop up on my, you know how when we say stuff and then it starts to pop up on your algorithm, somebody suggested, Anton, you need to cover this Nature Boy situation. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to cover it. So I started doing some research on him, and I'm like, man, this guy's a cult leader? You can't see videos on the Patreon? I'll look at it in the morning. I'll get there. I said that this guy, you should be able to see it. This guy is a cult leader? All right, so let me just share my screen really quickly before I get into it. I looked up who is Nature Boy, and his name is Eligio Bishop. Eligio Bishop, he's 40 years old, and he was arrested in April 2022. Here, let me share my screen with you guys. How many of y'all are familiar with this? He was actually arrested, and no, not Ric Flair, not that Nature Boy. Eligio Bishop. And I think that he was more or less called Nature Boy because he was actually out there in these streets, man. But anyways, his name is Eligio Bishop. Some people in the chat is saying that he was a master manipulator. What up, J Ben? What's up, big dog? And so it's saying that he was arrested in April 2022. And after which he was, indicted on 5 charges by a grand jury in July of that year. The group Carbon Nation was characterized by authorities as a sex cult. A sex cult. It goes on to say a former group member who identified as Eligio's girlfriend alleged he had raped her and posted the footage online as revenge when she tried to escape. Yo, that's wild. That's absolutely wild. So I'm guessing that he went on trial. And let me pull this off real quick while I pull up some of the clips because I'm not familiar. You know about him, Messi? He a pedo? Whoa. So wait a minute. That was happening right here on soil, on American soil? All right, let me pull some of this up. We got to find out what's going on. Nature Boy. If I say Nature Boy, then they're going to pull up Ric Flair. So I got to put in his name. Eligio Bishop. It's crazy, man. All right, let me see if I can pull up some of his stuff. Hold on, let me see something.
Tonight with breaking news in the trial of accused cult leader Eligio Bishop. In the past half hour, a DeKalb County jury found Bishop guilty on all charges. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us tonight for Fox 5 News at 5. I'm Tom Haynes.
I'm Courtney Bryant. The most serious of those charges was rape, but Bishop was not even in the courtroom as the verdict was read. Fox 5's Tyler Fingert was there. He joins us now live. Tyler, what was the reaction in the room like as that verdict was read?
Yeah, Courtney, good evening to you. Alleged cult leader Eligio Bishop is now a convicted rapist. He was not inside the courtroom as this verdict was read. Instead, he watched remotely from the DeKalb County Jail because he had COVID concerns because someone tied to this case tested positive earlier this week. But as you might imagine, he was not happy after this verdict was read because there was an audible gasp from the Zoom meeting that was broadcasting in the courtroom. The judge then ordered that mic to be cut so the jury would not hear anything else from Bishop. I want to take you inside the courtroom as this announcement was read just about 45 minutes ago. The jury found Bishop guilty on all counts he faced, including rape, false imprisonment, and charges related to revenge porn. Bishop is the leader of the alleged cult Carbon Nation. Prosecutors say he raped a former group member as she tried to escape the group back in 2022 and then posted revenge porn online. The jury deliberated for just about 6 hours before announcing their verdict this afternoon. Take a listen to the moment as it unfolded.
On count one, how does the jury find? Count one is rape. Guilty. And count two, false imprisonment. Guilty. Count three, prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. Guilty. Count four, prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions. Guilty.
Jesus.
And I am told that the victim is emotional in this case. She was inside the courtroom as this verdict was read. She sat stone-faced as this verdict was read, but I am told that she is emotional and grateful now for this case to be over. There is still one more part to all of this.
I updated the headline. I see y'all. It's just a little mistype. I updated it. Now it ain't the X. It's the D. We got it. We got y'all. I got y'all. Y'all got to give me a minute to get it. Listen, this is a one-man production, but we operating like we a major news source. You know what I'm saying?
Sentencing. The judge decided to go forward with that tonight, and it's unfolding right now in courtroom 6D here at the DeKalb County Superior Court building. We're going to have the very latest on what's being said, and if a sentence is announced at some point before 6 o'clock, we'll bring that to you at the very latest on Fox 5 News at 6. We are live in DeKalb County tonight. Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
All right.
So basically what's being said is that he was a cult leader. All right, before we even get into the sentences and all of that other stuff, here's my question. What the fuck is a cult? And how do people get involved in it? Whenever I think of a cult, I think of something that's happening over in Utah. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, they want to keep people suppressed and down. And like, I don't understand the logic of a cult. I don't understand the mentality behind it. I guess it does make sense. But, so basically, one girl tried to escape. He said, nah, you're not escaping. He took her against her will. And then he released a bunch of images online as revenge. False imprisonment, rape, revenge porn, all of this stuff. It's crazy, bro. It's absolutely crazy. I guess the former victim had a testimony. Did they testimony?
Day one in the DeKalb County trial of an alleged cult leader accused of rape.
Eligio Bishop was arrested in April at 20.
He started in the Facebook group chat? Oh, Jesus. Y'all joining cults off of a Facebook group chat? That's insane.
2022 after a former member of the Carbon Nation cult accused him of rape and false imprisonment and claims he...
Okay, so what do y'all get out of it? What do you get out of it? Listen, in any group that you're a part of, this is one of the reasons why I be looking at them Hebrew Israelites weird. And I know that a Hebrew Israelite isn't a part of the Carbon Nation or a cult like that. But I'm just trying to understand, what do you get out of it? Because anything that you join, you actually have to benefit from it. So, for example, I understand why people join fraternities or sororities, because you then have a group or a network of people that you'll be able to tap into for life, and it's an opportunity for you to level up. Now, I know that it's a lot of people that don't necessarily join for the right reasons. Sometimes they join just because they're trying to get pussy in high school. or they want to be a part of a group where they have a sisterhood or a brotherhood or whatever like that, right? But ultimately, the organizations make sense. Now, they're not for me. However, I understand it. I understand why people, may join a church, right? For the right reasons. Not all the churches, but for the right reasons. Because you're looking to worship with and study and get some understanding from a group of people that's trying to lead you down the path of righteousness that ultimately you get the ultimate reward, a better life, and you can make it to heaven. Makes sense, right? And I also understand why, people join certain other groups, right? Because look, this person is adding value into your life and, you make more money or, whatever. Whatever you do, it has to be a return on investment. But then I be looking at some of these other groups and it just don't make sense to me. So like, for example, I was born in Detroit and, regardless of the fact that I had a strong family, every single city in America still got gangs. Whether you're in LA, whether you're in New York, whether you're in Detroit, whether you're in Miami, right? And I was on between 8 Mile and 7 Mile and, whatever. But I was always able to think for myself. And I was always trying to figure out, why do people join gangs? So you telling me we got to go in, put in work, do criminal activity, possibly sell drugs, make sure that we defend our territory against them, and they poor just like we are, and we fighting over neighborhoods that most of us don't even own? Why would I join a gang? Why? It's because you got a color on and you got a logo that some other nigga made up? As a young guy, I was thinking to myself, I don't really see the benefit of this. What do I get out of this? I'm already going to school. Ain't nobody messing with me. Ain't nobody bothering me. And I got older brothers. I'm chilling. Like, I just never seen the return on investment on the game. And it's similar to this cult shit. What I'm trying to understand from most people is why join something? What is the appeal of it? What is the appeal of a cult? What's the appeal of a gang? What's the appeal of some of this shit? Like, is it that we just want to belong to something or we want to be a part of something? I even understand. It don't make sense to me, but I can understand why people join a gang in a jail, because they got to pick a side and they looking for protection, or they don't want to be out there on an island by themselves or whatever, right? You didn't get fucked up because you got to participate. You might get a longer sentence for doing some shit that you ain't supposed to do. However, I understand it because they're looking to survive, right? I don't understand the shit that a lot of these people be doing, including this cult. What is the purpose of a cult? And what is the return on investment from a cult? It's a sense of belonging, Messi? No, not all churches Empire Foundation. I think there's some churches that's messed up and they give a bad rap to all churches. But I don't think all churches is like that. More importantly, you can still leave. See, when you join a gang, they be like, it's for life. When you join a church, I could just decide to not go no more. And I ain't got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just different. It's different. But anyways, let me see what this testimony is.
Posted sex videos of her online as revenge. 11 Alive's Tracy A. McPeer has been following this case for us. She just stepped out of the courtroom. And Tracy, you're joining us live now with an update.
He was on a video with Signetter, Victim Olympics. Send it to me in my email, antondaniels413@gmail.com, and then I'll pull it up.
That's right. It's been a very emotional day in court with opening arguments. Then we heard from the victim in court for the first time.
I wasn't able to go. I felt like I couldn't. I felt powerless. And he kept telling me that he wanted to just do it one more time, just one more time.
Oh, that boy didn't have no chance whatsoever. Let me tell you something. When he heard that testimony, he should have just took the plea deal, whatever the fuck it was. Even if it was 30 years, just take the plea deal. Because when a woman get up there and she start crying and talking about a bunch of shit, and she said that he just wanted to do it one more time, and she started making it sound believable, and she started doing that sniffle, that ugly sniffle, that when she started doing that shit, it's over. Take the plea deal, big dog. That nigga should have took the plea deal. Now he doing life in prison, but we gonna get to that part.
Day one of Eligio Bishop's trial, the victim took the stand, explaining the power she says Bishop had over the members of his cult, Carbon Nation.
I was basically his disciple, and then he would make me his lover and take me and become his wife.
Bishop is facing a number.
Y'all see the judge? Even the judge was like, Jesus, this is a Lifetime movie. Look at the judge.
And take me and become his wife.
The judge is like, damn, look, I would have looked at the judge and then looked at the jury and be like, ah, shit. We in a world of trouble. Hey, lawyer, you think I'm going to make it out of this? No, it's not looking good. All right, take the plea deal. I don't give a fuck what they said. Just take the plea deal, my nigga.
Bishop is facing a number of charges after the victim, a former member of Carbon Nation, accused him of rape and false imprisonment and says he posted sex videos of her online as revenge for leaving him.
What the defendant did with that power, the answer to that, the evidence will show, is sex. Nobody's.
How you gonna get mad because somebody leave you and you got a whole nother fleet over there? This nigga deserve to be under the jail if that's true. If that's true, man, go ahead and do your time, big dog. We ain't gonna worry about it. You can get buff in prison. You ain't never getting out anyway. Might as well go ahead and get your look. Go ahead and holla at Fleece. He'll give you some advice on how to survive, my nigga.
Said no to the king.
In opening arguments Thursday, DeKalb County prosecutors described Eligio Bishop as a power-hungry cult leader that abused his members.
You will hear that there was this atmosphere of fear and violence within the group, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Who was going to be next?
The defense claiming the sex and the videos were consensual and that she was able to leave.
She packed her bags. Nobody stopped her from packing her bags on her. She was able to get her paintings out of the storage. Nobody stopped her from doing that.
The victim claims there were many rules in the cult and punishments for those who broke the rules.
When you disrespect Eligio, you would either go in the corner or do squats.
Oh, I'm sorry. His name is Eligio. Eligio. He had them hoes doing squats. Check this shit out.
Respect Eligio, you would either go in the corner or do squats or be reprimanded or shunned.
Eventually, she says those punishments included violence and beatings from Bishop and the other members.
He used a belt, a leather belt, to whip her over 50 to 100 times.
The victim.
That's crazy. Oh, shit. Dog, you can't be putting a belt on nobody and you whooping them over 50. Thought this nigga pulled out a belt and whooped a woman for over 50 to 100 times? Dog, listen, whatever they had to do, pay her off, get her up out of there, take care of her mama for life, anything will be better than what the fuck he talking about. This dude, Jesus Christ. First of all, he was getting them in shape. He said, listen, y'all go over there in that corner and y'all do them squats. But then it evolved. The next thing you know, he was pulling off his belt. He was pulling off the leather. Yeah, this nigga's crazy. He was a demon, Messi. And he had 10 hoes. Jesus.
A leather belt to whip her over 50 to 100 times.
The victim admits she was a member of the cult 3 different times. And as she was leaving for the final time, she told him no to sex repeatedly before finally saying, okay.
And how many times do you think you told him no before you said okay? If you just had to...
So many times I couldn't count. He interrupts me and says, shut up. You're my property. You're not going anywhere.
Hey, when the defense attorney starts sipping some water out of his canister, nigga, that's a wrap. Look at the defense. Look, she's saying, I said no, and he said, shut up, you my bitch. And look what the defense is doing while the woman is on there testifying, and this man's life is on the line. Look at the defense. He don't know what to do. Look.
You're my property. You're not going anywhere.
Nigga, put the canister down. My life is on the line. Jesus Christ. What we talking about right now? Hold on. This nigga sipping canisters? You ain't got no objections? Objection, conjecture, ladies and gentlemen. Objection, leading the witness. Say anything. Disrupt this hoe. Don't let her get up there and say that wild shit. What are you doing? Nigga, you might as well have slip-on slippers. Man, you going to jail. Boy, did this boy get a, is this a court-appointed attorney, or is this somebody that you hired yourself? Man, if you don't put that canister down and start saying something, say anything. She lying, Your Honor. Man, I would have got up myself. She lying. I ain't never said that. Whoa! She started talking about whoopings and shit like that. That nigga started sipping a canister. Look at this man.
You're my.
First of all, sir, look how you dressed in court. Y'all niggas was being a cult for this nigga? Look at his hair. Look at his hair. Look at his jacket. And then he got on glasses with no lenses in it. And you got a lawyer with the tweed jacket on sipping water while this hoe is throwing you under the bus.
You're my property. You're not going anywhere.
Hell no.
Hell.
Now, the prosecution also played clips of the sexually explicit videos that were posted on Bishop's site. That was one of the more disturbing parts of the trial so far.
That man is a demon. And we don't support demonic behavior. Let me see what else is going on. I need to see the sentencing. Sentencing. Oh, that was the hearing. I don't want the whole thing. Let me see if I can get it. Give me a second. We getting the cliff notes over here on After Hours. We ain't got time to be sitting here following the whole trial. We just want to see what the results are, and we want to see what happened. And shout out to the people that put me up on this guy. I didn't know nothing about Eligio with his whooping tactics.
You know, I would have been inclined to exercise some discretion.
That's too low. I need a bigger one. I need something that's a little louder. This nigga over here whooping women. Sentencing hearing. Maybe this is a better one. Oh, he wanted to address the court in the sentencing hearing. Let's see what him addressing the court. Let's see if we can get him in here addressing the court. Your Honor, that hoe is lying.
For sure. At all times.
All right, what is it you'd like me to consider?
I just want to say something to all of them.
Well,
I just want to say.
Just direct it to me, please, not to.
I'll direct it to you. I'll direct it to you.
Okay.
Are you happy? Are you happy?
I'm not answering any questions of yours, Mr.
I forgive you. I forgive you, and I still love you. I forgive you, and I still love you. I got nothing in my heart. I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset with you. I forgive you. I want you.
Is this nigga crazy? Are we all watching the same trial? I want to understand what we watching. Is he just been found guilty and he about to be sentenced? Is this boy out of his mind? Is he crazy? That boy said, I forgive you. You ain't got to worry about it. This boy is crazy. He is batshit crazy. Why y'all ain't tell me what we was dealing with? We dealing with a demon.
You know I still love you and forgive you. And kiss my baby girl and let her know I love her. And I love y'all. I would never, I don't have no, I promise you, you know how I am. In my heart, you know how I am. I still love you. I still fuck with you. I still love you.
All right.
I still.
I got that.
And no hate.
Okay.
No hate.
Is there anything else?
My heart light as a feather. I promise you, I love you when I'm still here. I ain't missed one lick. I see what y'all doing, and I want you to know, I forgive you. And I see y'all.
And you know what? Let me tell you why they so why he crazy. Let me tell you what's important to identify with a crazy nigga. Because they really start believing they lies. Like they start believing that they were wronged. These niggas think that this is logical. And I'm not, listen, I'm not sure if he's saying this because he's trying to come off as crazy so that he can try to get, you know what I'm saying, plead insanity or what. But this nigga is insane. Let me see what else is happening.
On count one, how does the jury find? Count one is rape. Guilty.
A guilty verdict on all charges against an alleged cult leader accused of raping a follower who tried to escape. Good evening, I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryant. Jurors in DeKalb County came back with 5 guilty verdicts against alleged sex cult leader Eligio Bishop. But he wasn't even in the courtroom to hear the verdict.
Fox 5's Tyler Fingert has been following this trial since the beginning. He joins us now with a closer look at that verdict and the sentence Bishop will face. Tyler?
Yeah, Russ, good evening to you. Alleged cult leader Eligio Bishop is now a convicted rapist, and just moments ago, the judge sentenced him to life without the possibility of parole.
I understand that you all have reached a verdict. Is that correct?
After about 6 hours of deliberations, a DeKalb County jury found alleged cult leader Eligio Bishop guilty of all 5 charges he faced, including rape and false imprisonment.
Guilty.
The jury found Bishop raped a former group member as she tried to escape the alleged cult Carbon Nation and then posted revenge porn of the woman online. Bishop wasn't in the courtroom for the verdict because of COVID concerns, but watched from the DeKalb County jail and let out an audible noise before the judge ordered his mic off.
All right. Go ahead and mute courtroom C, please.
A woman who has covered the group online for years believes the jury got it right.
I believe that it's a just verdict. I believe that the courtroom today was very quiet and somber.
Following the verdict, Judge Stacey Heydrich moved right into the sentencing hearing where Bishop's victims testified. He appeared to make fun of them.
He said my soul belonged to him, and there was absolutely no saying no to him.
You were our guy. Now you're a prisoner, but you were a prisoner to us.
Bishop then addressed the judge.
I forgive you. I forgive you, and I still love you.
And the judge said she would have been lenient if it wasn't for how he acted during the trial. He was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. Judge Stacey Heydrich.
See that arrogant shit, man. Listen, bro. Judge said she would have been lenient if he would have been actually different throughout the trial, and you still was over there being arrogant, man. Look, bro. I do believe I didn't know anything about him before this or prior to it, but I do feel sorry for the fact that a lot of people actually fall into this bullshit, and it's unfortunate that the arrogance of a lot of these people lead them to their downfall, which possibly is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, the fact that they were arrogant, I don't think that these people need to be out here on the street. Because I know that y'all gonna be out here, oh my God, free Nature Boy or whatever his name is and all of that. No, that nigga need to be chilling out. He need to sit the fuck down for a while. You can't be out here raping people and taking them against their will and giving them whoopings and all of this stuff and thinking that that junk is cool. Nah, big dog. I'm gonna need you to sit down for a minute, hold this L, and you know, my one thing, it's ironic that we having this conversation, but my one thing is, and I've always said this, I never, ever, ever, and y'all heard me say this 1,000 times. My one thing is that I'm never, ever going to try to convince you to be somewhere where you don't want to be. Forget holding you against your will. I don't even want you to be hanging out or be around me when you feel like you done or anything. The fastest way to get me up out of there, or the fastest way to get yourself from in my presence, is say I don't want to be here anymore. Because don't nobody look. It's some people that's just not even built to be a cult leader at all. Because who wants to hold somebody against their will? Like, who wants to get somebody to try to convince somebody to do something that they don't want to do? Even in a regular relationship, even in love, it's like, I don't want nobody to just say, I love you because I said it to you first. Matter of fact, I'll tell you, don't even say I love you when I say it to you, because I'm saying it to you because I really feel it. Now, when you say it to me, I want you to really mean it, not just because I said it to you first. So why would I want to be around why would I want to be around somebody that don't like authentically within themselves actually believe in what it is that we putting together? Like, you gotta want to be here. I don't want to convince you. I don't want to convince you. That's just me. I want to share this with y'all real quick. Real quick. I want to spin the block a little bit because this actually came up on my timeline a lot. And so I want to have this conversation with y'all. And it's actually appeared on Earn Your Leisure. And so I thought that this would be an interesting topic for us to talk about tonight before we get back to the fuck shit. Because I actually want to talk about Dame Dash and all of that. What up, Lisa? What's happening? Let me read this super chat and then we're going to get over into the next thing. AJY says arrogance got AR 45 years, man. Listen, when you under the thumb, the minute that you get some metal bracelets put on you, you're not even in control of your own life. You're not even in control of your own life, let alone sitting there talking about arrogance. That's the last thing that you need to be doing, is trying to have a tough guy persona. Because ain't nobody going to come and save you. Ain't nobody going to come and help you. It's over. It's literally over at that point. And so the last thing that you want to do is lean into your arrogance or lean into the thing that you think, talking about, I forgive you. Man, don't nobody give a fuck about you. They going to forget about you, bro. It's over. Don't nobody care. Listen, I just did a reaction from it. That's it. And it's going from there, bro. It's going from there. So that's the last time you want to get some humility, you want to get some love, and you want to be operating within your purpose. Nah, see, look at this. Black is back talking about free ab. Nah, leave that nigga in jail. Why are we trying to free niggas that's been terrorizing the community and admitted that they've been terrorizing the community for a long time? Leave that nigga in jail. What y'all talking about free him for? Anyway, so this woman right here, I'm not sure who she is, was on EYL, and amongst a bunch of other things that she talked about from a business perspective, she also talked about the fact that she put relationships on the back burner, and I seen a small clip of it on Instagram. You know, Instagram Reels is only like a minute and 30 seconds. I don't even think it was as long as that. But I went and found the original clip, and so I wanted to share this, and I wanted to kind of look at it in its entirety, because I don't like to always just look at clips unless that's exactly what somebody, or small reels or whatever, unless that's what the intention was in the first place. But when they take it from a bigger source, I always want to go and look at the original. What up, Tim? What up, everybody that's tapped in? I appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with me. Let me pull this up real quick, all right? She was basically saying that, and I'm not sure who this woman is. Matter of fact, I should go and find out who she is first before I just start saying shit. Her name is, let me see if I can find it. Her name is Erica Pittman. Let me look her up real quick. And shout out to Earn Your Leisure also. Erica Pittman. I'm about to pull her up on Instagram real quick. And then I also want to kind of understand who she is. EricaPittman.com. Is this her? All right, let me pull up her stuff online real quick just to see who she is. Let me see. Erica Pittman, get the book. What Mommy Never Told You, a woman's guide to the next phase. Create a world that inspires those around me to treat major success. Okay. Let me see. Erica Pittman is a powerhouse, beauty and brains. Okay, so those are testimonies. Her story. Erica Pittman is the modern day fixer, an expert problem solver. So she like, what is that lady's name? What is her name? From the president type style. What is that? What is that series that had Kerry Washington in it? Anyways, modern day fixer, an expert problem solver, innovative approach, and strategic way of thinking, maker and one of the best brand architects in business. Held titles at media companies such as Time, Vibe Media. Transitioning to the Blue Fame agency, where she said as the VP of Marketing, standout performance caught the attention of business mogul Sean Puff Diddy Combs, who hand-selected Erica to for a curated leadership role within his company, Combs Enterprises. Vice President of Combs Enterprises, Chairman Office, works alongside executive teams, worked closely against the business objectives of Combs Portfolio, LA branch. This was a position that catapulted her into the C-suite position as Chief Marketing Officer at Aqua Hydrate. Aqua Hydrate was one of Diddy's companies too, wasn't it? Anyways, Scandal. Thank y'all. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Playing a lead role with some of the most highly successful companies in America, Erica now leads her unique business acumen to inspire those that want to learn what it takes to reach such prestigious heights. Professionally, motivational words from a woman who continues to break grounds, holding oases of knowledge in various industries, music, fashion, wine, spirits. Television, most recently, the bottled water industry, excelling in sales, marketing, and mixed media. How did Aqua Hydrate do? Yeah, Olivia Pope. Pittman has been marketing and developing brands for over 20 years, becoming an expert in brand building with specialization in lifestyle and branding and positioning, and her campaigns and initiatives have reached across genres, creating a bridge between influencers, artists, celebrities, brands, and most importantly, consumers. She also co-starred on the Emmy Award-winning Bravo series, The Singles Project. I don't know anything about that personally. As a member of the National Association of Professional Women Advertising Women of New York, Cosmetic Executive Women, Erica lends her time and energy to a number of causes and other organizations, including Dress for Success, the NFTE Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. Okay, so that's her. This is Erica, brand architect. She's a cutie. I like her. She's a cutie. All right, pretty standard fare. Crazy. All right, but apparently she's a high-powered person who, in a general sense, I think sacrificed love for her career. Shout out to all of the people in the chat keeping me popping. Let's rock out with her. Let's see what she got to say.
Let's talk about the book.
The book.
So you published a book.
Okay. So I didn't have that moment where it was like, oh, things got tough. And then she rode off in the sunset. Here's a book to talk about it, right? And so I thought that's what I needed in order to create this body of work. But what I realized is people have constantly sat down to have this conversation that we're having right now. Like, how did you go from East New York, Brooklyn to working and doing some of the things that you've done and worked in? And I was constantly telling the story, and I said, you know what? I need to put pen to paper. From career and finance to relationships to self-motivation.
So, like, what's one of the things? Give us one example of what's in the book that you've learned.
Well,
something that your mother never told you.
Some of the things that my mother never told me. I mean, there are tons of examples, but really understanding that, as a woman, it's important to have male mentorship as much as it is to have female mentorship. I was raised by really strong women, and I have a huge girl network. But when I moved into my career, most of my mentors have been men. So people like Keith Klingscales, as I mentioned, Steve Stout, early on in my career was professional.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that's something that people don't really consider, but it's an issue. I've seen it firsthand.
Absolutely.
So what's your advice for that?
That is a great question. There's a nuance to the level set that young women need to learn how to initiate very early on. I think men do it sometimes when men sort of alpha in the room and you set your position in a room full of men. You guys know what I'm talking about. You come into a room with 10 dudes, you're going to posture in a certain way.
Y'all got to stop saying that they scammers, man. Nobody has ever said, and nobody has ever come forward and said that EYL has ever scammed them. Y'all got to stop saying that, bro. That y'all use the word and the term so loosely that, it just starts to apply anywhere that it flies. Nobody, I've not personally ever seen EYL, Rashad, Ian, any of those people ever take money from somebody and not give them a return on their investment or deliver what it is that they said that they're paying for. Y'all gotta stop saying that, bro. That is not true. Until you can actually show some proof or somebody took something from somebody and they did not give a return on investment, y'all gotta stop saying that they have not scammed anybody. Stop saying, you can't say that, bro. I don't know where y'all got that shit from. And again, you're more than welcome to be able to call into the show because the link is in the description for y'all to be able to do it. What's up to my girl Mika? Y'all got to stop saying that, bro. Y'all just be saying anything, bro. They not scammers. You can't say that. Just saying shit. Like, I don't sell courses, but motherfuckers that sell a course they selling you a course. Why do y'all say that shit? No, listen, I'm going to speak in truth. I'm not going to just side with people just because Pocket Watching with JT never called EYL scammers. And I know Pocket Watching him in real life. I know him. I can call him. Well, I'm not going to call him right now because it's late at night. But Pocket Watching in the Patreon, he did a live stream for like 2 hours with the people answering all of the questions of how to set up your videos or not set up, from a financial perspective. So if anybody want to go into the Patreon and watch the video that Pocket Watching with JT did with my Patreon members in order to add value into their life, they're more than welcome to do so. But y'all can't say that, man. And y'all just be saying anything, bro. Come on, man. Stop that, bro. They ain't scam nobody. Y'all got to stop doing that.
So that your ranking is governed accordingly. Right?
Well put.
They're gonna, right?
Well put, Erica.
So the same thing, and I know this from being trained by men, right? I was blessed to be trained by men throughout my career. And so there's a way of being as a woman to position yourself as a person of power, a person of respect, no nonsense, but still approachable. And that has worked for me up until a point. Until I got to a sort of apex point in my career, being very dominant in that way was powerful. But at a certain point, it worked against me. And I had to start seeking out female mentorship at the executive level because I had to bring back the softness. Because it was almost like I was competing with the men.
Yeah.
Exterior was too rough.
It was too rough.
So that's not necessarily, I think that women's superpower, even in extended into corporate America, is still their femininity. It's just something that y'all always gonna have that men will never have. And that's the thing to get what you want. See, the thing that people don't understand about corporate or business or anything is you basically, it's the same thing when it comes to strippers and women as for the street. You use what you got to get what you want. And so whatever is unique about you is the thing that you then leverage to get to get the best out of people. And I think the softness and the femininity combined with the intelligence is what will allow for you to be successful. I think a lot of women feel like they got to compete with men. You don't. You don't, because you're in a whole nother sphere. But we'll get there. I'll talk about it in a minute. I want to get to the part where she's talking about relationships.
And so I had to come into this balance of, oh, no. You see me, you see I'm grounded, you respect me, but this is not an alpha contest.
Yeah. See, the alpha thing, I don't agree with.
Softness at a corporate level is not an oxymoron. Getting to the highest level in corporate is not just based off of deliverables. It's based off of cultural fit. It's 100% based off of cultural fit. You're supposed to be good at your job, but people want to work with you. It's all networking and sales. It's not what y'all think that it is.
The alpha thing, I don't like to consider myself an alpha male. I'm just a male.
Yeah.
So I think there's two ways that I've witnessed like people at the highest level conduct themselves. One in that manner, which is like very loud and kind of obnoxious. But you know that this person is a certain level of stature because it's like a mob boss, right? Like Johnny Gotti, like it's like when he walks in the room, like everybody kind of like fears him or has some level of respect for him.
Yeah.
So you could be extremely loud, or you could be extremely quiet.
Yeah.
Like this guy, Jay.
But he's
like,
still incredibly alpha.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but just his demeanor.
Yeah.
He's more of an introvert, quiet. I see that a lot. I see that actually more often, especially like the higher, like billionaires, like.
So there's a ranking order that naturally happens,
No,
right?
for sure.
So I didn't mean it in the alpha male standpoint.
But I mean, and it's like.
But then also, alphas are usually not loud in real life.
But I think the term alpha is just confusing sometimes because it's like
it's misused.
I think like if that's really like I love Dame. He's actually a personal friend of mine. That's his personality. But
I knew he was going to use Dame when he started saying people are loud and obnoxious. It's funny because I actually seen a video with Dame just dropped a video, and I was thinking about reacting to that, but I'll let y'all determine that. We'll figure that out as we go. It's funny that he said Dame because that was the person that I was thinking of when he was saying that, you know, people are sometimes loud. That executive is loud. You got to know when to turn it on and when not to turn it on. It's not always necessary in real life.
His way of being, I think people try to emulate that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they try to like be loud and stern and da-da-da-da. And I don't necessarily think that's the most beneficial way to communicate with people.
Absolutely.
But I see a lot of people that they think that way of acting or that way of communicating asserts themselves as the alpha and asserts themselves as the head. And but I think that's not. So I don't know. I just feel like the term alpha.
Loudness does not equal power.
So what does alpha equate to?
Alpha is it's an anchoring. It's a knowing. It's an assuredness in your power to affect a situation. That's what alpha is. It's not necessarily how loud you are. It's your ability to influence at the highest level and make the decision that people are going to adhere to. And you don't have to do that with words.
Yeah, a lot of nonverbal communication.
Tons of nonverbal communication.
Yeah.
Like I just as a woman, like I'm not looking at the loudest guy in the room. I want to see the guy that's like, you know, laid back and calm and poised and has it put together, and he's the one. Not this one over here jumping around doing cartwheels. It's like,
cartwheels.
Not the guy popping the bottle of champagne. Yeah. You brought up the word apex of your career, height of your career. When I hear you speak, I can feel your energy. I feel like you're still in it. So,
Black is Back says, why are we asking a woman what alpha is, what an alpha is? Y'all got to understand the purpose of the interview. Look, first of all, you don't want to exist in an echo chamber, all right? Secondly, you want to bring them on, and then you just let the conversation naturally flow wherever it's going to go. So if she wants to give an opinion on something specifically based off of her experience, whether she's right or wrong, you still want to source as much information as you possibly can, and then we can leave it on the flow and we can start to decipher it then. But I think that y'all forget the point of an interview. An interview is an opportunity to give somebody else a platform to give you their thoughts based off of whatever it is that you brought them for. A debate is different. A conversation is different. And if that's the case, then you wouldn't have a conversation with anybody. Again, the point is not to censor people. The point is to get as much information out of whoever it is that you're bringing on in an organic way that allows for you to actually foster good conversation. And then you can figure out what you want to do after that. But I think that the worst interviewers are the people that try to debate people on the platform instead of allowing for them or to make them comfortable to get their thoughts off. So you can't say, hey, why are we allowed? What do you mean? It's a normal, natural conversation that's navigating into this space, and I want you to be able to say what you want to say. Because right or wrong is great for the platform. So you can't try to censor people. I need y'all to be situationally aware. The goal of an interviewer is to get as much information as possible from the person that's sitting down.
I'm questioning, how are you seeing where you're at presently? Are you where you want to be? There's some more things that you need to check out, because I feel like the apex hasn't hit yet.
I agree. It hasn't, but I am ascending, right? And so I like to believe, you hit that peak and you try to ride that peak as long as you can. And maybe it might plateau a little bit and then you hope to hit another peak. So that's how I think about apex. And I do think, though, that there is a stage in your career. There are stages in your finances, right, where you've arrived. And then how do you elevate and take it to the next level, right? So you can become a millionaire.
It's funny because I was my man that came up on the platform earlier. Let me find. I forgot what his name was, but he came up on the platform earlier, and the white guy with the dope beard, and he was giving his thoughts on Umar Johnson and stuff, right? And I didn't necessarily agree with every single thing that he said. But it wasn't there for me to disagree or agree with, because that's not the type of energy that he was given. I just wanted to understand what his thoughts were and what he was. And the more that he spoke, the more that I understand why he had the position that he had, right? Because, the culture that he was raised in and the woman that he married to and how he got his business set up, well, that adds value into the conversation, because it's not always about right or wrong. So what I need y'all to do is to be situationally aware. Know when to turn it on. Sean, that's his name. Know when to turn it on and know when to turn it off. It's not always necessary for you to try to prove yourself to every single person that says something that you may or may not disagree with. Sometimes they can say something, and in the midst of them saying something that you may not agree with, you may learn something that you did, that you realize that you wasn't familiar with. But if you automatically every time shut somebody off from talking, then you might miss the gems that they can give you later, because you're so busy focused on trying to be right instead of trying to be productive. And so y'all got to know when to turn it on and off. It's not always for, we about to clash, or I got to be right, or I got to get my point off. Now, I actually want to talk to people that I disagree with sometimes, so I can better understand why they are successful in that area that they're in, so that I can leverage that part and add that as a part of my repertoire, my portfolio, so I could be even more successful and I could add that and do that too. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always about being right. That's the thing that people need to understand. It's not about being right. It's about being productive. It's about getting that money. It's about being successful. It's about leveraging information. It's about learning as much as you possibly can. Everybody's so focused on being right, but I tell you what, the person that's always right is the person that's always broke. The person that's always right is the person that's always broke. By the time I get on this platform and I'm giving you information, the other 22 hours throughout the day, I've been asking questions and seeking insight from my mentors or talking to other people that I interact with on a daily basis. Even when I'm in corporate America, I have a team that I oversee of user experience professionals, right? They all hold different positions. I am asking them questions to better understand how I can serve them. They're the experts. So my job is to unleash them. My job is to find out, hey, how can I put you in a position to be successful? But in order to do that, I got to listen more than I speak. I speak when I need to. And so because I have a platform, then that's where I speak. But I'm not always speaking in times when I don't have to. As a matter of fact, I prefer to be more quiet because that's where I can get the understanding. So y'all got to start thinking a little bit more. Shout out to Mr. Spillman.
That's great. But then you could become 100 millionaire, and that's really great. Then you could
listen. Hey, Black is back. The link is pinned to the top of the chat for you to get your thoughts off. You're more than welcome to be able to call in. I said what I said.
Become a billionaire. And now, like, that's something else, right? So those are all apex moments within our lives. And so when I say I hit that apex peak,
thank you, Curtis.
Like if I'm in a C-suite conversation.
Let me get to the relationship.
Interested to hear this because I used to be a financial advisor before I did this. And when I was a financial advisor, 70% of my clients were women, Black women, and I learned something that there's a lot of Black women that make a lot of money, like $500,000, $400,000 a year. They're like corporate diversity officers at Macy's and different things of that nature. And then they make
not the diversity officers, not the diversity, equity, and inclusion women. So they giving them free money. Neither here nor there. I want to get to what he's going to ask her.
30s, and they're single, and they've never had children. And I noticed, I started to see a pattern, and I started to realize that this is my philosophy. There wasn't an equal counterpart a lot, right? Because it's like their counterpart, their age, wasn't making as much money, wasn't at that level of corporate. It might have been a good dude, but he's, is a delivery man, right? Yeah. Or the person that is at that level is already gone. It's already taken. He's already married and has children. So from a relationship standpoint, I started to see that it was difficult for...
Here, let me address this real quick. He says, the person that's always right is the person that's always broke. That's a made-up concept as of tonight. It's not. Because usually the person that's always right think that they're always right in their mind. It doesn't mean that they're really right in real life. However, what I have observed, though, is people that always think that they're right, and then other people that know that they're wrong, let them have it. Because they know that this person is going to remain in the same space, but more importantly, they're not a cultural fit. You're not receptive. You're not open to the possibility of what could be because you already know what you know. So ultimately, that person is the person that don't get hired. That's the person that don't get promoted. That's the person that's always complaining about the fact that they didn't be able to get the position. That's always the person that does not get it because as intelligent as they are, they not open. And they already think that they know stuff. So it don't mean that you're right. It means that you always think you're right and you talk and you argue as though you are, when in reality, you're not. Because being successful has nothing to do with being right. That's what you're missing. And I could tell the type of person that you are because you don't even look for the nuance and the context. That's why you're scared to hit the button to be able to come up. Because you know better than that. You know better than that. You know better than to have a real conversation with a person that could actually stand on his own two toes and substantiate his argument. Because I'm going to dissect you, and I'm going to break you down, and I'm going to humble you. But I appreciate you for being here, and I appreciate you for contributing into the conversation. I'd love to be able to correct you, though. Shout out to you.
I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry. My alarm. Go ahead.
So from a relationship standpoint, I started to see that it was difficult a lot of times for Black women that was rising up that corporate ladder to get into a relationship so I don't know what your segment in the book about relationships is, but have you seen that and what's your thoughts on that?
I absolutely have seen that, but I think that it's so nuanced. So there's a couple things that go into that. I think top line looking at it, yes, there's not an equal counterpart at every step for a lot of these women at a certain age. And
because men can go down too, right? Like men, you can be 40 years old and date the 28-year-old and nobody says anything. That's another thing that it's hard for a 40-year-old woman to find a 28-year-old man
that she wants to be with, right? That
right.
Because women.
Let's be clear. Most 20-year-old men is not trying to be with a 40-year-old woman. They'll fuck them. They'll bust them down. But I don't know many 20-year-old men. And most women that are 40 ain't trying to get with a 20-year-old man. They just trying to bust them down too. So it's an equal exchange. On the flip side, when you're talking about older men and younger women, I understand that because that's something that's always been a part of us. Me personally, I've never been interested in talking to young women. It's never been a thing. If I see a 20-something-year-old, honestly, and I see them all the time. They come to the studio, they kick it, they want to get on camera and shit. Most of the time, I'll be like, just chill out, because they just want to, they just looking to have fun, and I feel them and I understand it. Or they bring their homegirls, and their homegirls be 23, 24, 25, 26 years old. They like children to me. Because the way that they talk and their mentality and their ability to be able to carry a conversation is beyond what you look like. It's more or less about, whether or not I even want to be around you. Because if you open your mouth and it's like, damn, she like a little baby, you know what I'm saying? It's different than a person that just sit there quiet because I can actually tolerate you a little bit more. But I don't understand the logic of most. I understand it, but it could just never be for me as far as talking to these little chicks, man. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be something that I can hear from you that just makes me a little bit more interested in hearing you salute. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's just me.
Women like to be able to learn from their men and have leadership within their relationship traditionally. Not all women. And so oftentimes men that are younger don't necessarily have those experiences. Some women do, and they do well in that space, but not most. But I think it's a combination of things. I think it's, so many people with me, for instance, I'm single, I don't have children, and people ask me like, what happened? And I'm a heterosexual woman, right? And so it's like, well, a couple things happened.
On their career.
I think first and foremost, I always say I spent too much time on the wrong relationships. That is, I tell any young woman, get in and get out. It's the OG classic. That's what Jay-Z said.
Classic.
That's what Jay-Z said.
Now you're speaking the language.
Right?
Now you're speaking the language.
Get out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, move on as quickly as possible, right? Learn the lesson, forgive, and move on. So I didn't necessarily do that as often as perhaps I should have. But I also think, creating a space.
I think that most women passed up on the man that they were supposed to be with because they wanted to have a completely different trajectory for their life. It's that simple.
To date and explore. Women that are driven in their careers,
they don't have time,
tend to forget about how intentional.
Hey, y'all gotta relax in the chat. Nobody is censoring nobody. We all have agreements on some stuff. We all have disagreements on some stuff. It's not that deep. We all just having a good time and we have differences of opinion. If somebody think differently than me, that's all right too. They may be wrong. They may be right. But they just got a difference of opinion.
You need to be about dating.
That's another thing. I'm glad you said that. They don't have time.
They don't have time. They don't make time.
They don't make the time.
They don't make the time.
They have the time. They don't make the time.
They don't make it because it gets exhausting, right? When you're constantly coming up against the men that may not be equally yoked.
Yeah. There's a list of priorities. Is that how we're prioritizing these things? Like this is more important than this right at this present time?
Yeah. I had a friend that said to me, very, very, very good friend. She said, you need to approach getting married like finding your dream job. The same way you would go and find interviews and have conversations. You need to find friends that have single friends. You need to be in spaces where there are single men because of the type of man that you want to marry is very unique. So you're not going to just bump into him at a supermarket.
I wonder if it's really unique. I do like this woman. I think that she's well-spoken. She's cool. You know what I'm saying? From all optics, she ain't said nothing that was really crazy. But how much you want to bet that the man that's unique, the specific type of man that's unique, is the same man that every other black woman wants? The same type of man that every other woman wants. The man that you want is unique. No, he not. We see it every day on social media. And if she ain't said it, which I'm curious if she is gonna say it. So I'm gonna play it a little bit more. But for some reason, she, you know what I'm saying? They be thinking, oh man, the one man that I want is unique. No, he not. He not. He's the same type of man that every other woman wants. And so the type of man you want is unique. No, nope, not really. It's the same.
You've got to be intentional.
That's a fact.
And I thought it was brilliant when she said it to me way too late, but she had, obviously expressed it. And I think the same thing happens in some of the situations that you mentioned.
Just going back to my financial advisor days, I remember this guy was telling me, he told his daughter that, and he was like, what are you doing to find a husband? Like, you can't just wing it. You gotta actually treat this thing like you are, like you said, like you're trying to get a job. Like, you gotta actually have a set plan, blueprint, events that I'm going to go to every single month.
Because the places you're going to run into are so limited at this point. This isn't the days where I'm going to go to the library, or I might go to the theater, and I'm going to the art gallery. Like, I'm in the club.
Is this why we potentially see a lot of interracial couples at higher, like the vice president and different things of that nature?
I think so. People tend to date within their industry or date in what they're most familiar with and around. And, unfortunately, I think that is the case. And I think I'm going to say something a little controversial, but I think that fundamentally Black youth is not as conditioned to marry automatically the way some other cultures are, right?
That's not
other cultures.
It's
statistical show that.
No, that's a fact.
Right? They know they have to get married.
You don't really have a choice.
There's no choice. You're going to get married. It may not be today.
Or you get disowned.
Right.
That's a fact.
Or it's going to be arranged for you.
It's going to be arranged for you. Yeah. And it may not be today. It may not be in 5 years, but you're going to get married. They also know to be successful, particularly the men in those cultures. Thank you. Know that having a wife represents something way broader. It represents responsibility. It represents anchoring. Like, you think about, have we ever had a single president? We've had a widowed president, but we've never had a single president ever.
No.
Right? So there's little things that go into
societal norms
around being married that don't necessarily exist automatically within our culture. So our young people don't know that we have to get married. Not that we have to, but that it would be beneficial for us to partner up and do some stuff together in that way.
Yeah. I agree.
So we're at a disadvantage initially with the mindset, but then we're so busy trying to do it by ourselves, we forget to reconnect with each other and do it together and find someone to do it together with. So
it's too late, baby. It's too late. Because the things that, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you. Can I be absolutely honest with y'all? Let me see if she got anything else.
And while we're thinking about that, the time is passing every day.
Every day.
That we don't.
And you're more.
All right. So here's my thoughts on this. And I'm going to just be honest with y'all about me personally and where I stand in my mentality, okay? I think that most people want to get married. Men and women ultimately want to be in a relationship and they want to get married. And I love that and I respect that. And my job is to give you guys the information that allows for you to vet more effectively for the direction of your life that you're going in. Don't get caught up in no foolishness. I'm not against people being single. I'm not against people being married, but I am for people making sure that they don't have no self-inflicted wounds regardless of what path you take. With that being said, as a person that has been married for 20 years, 19 and a half, it'll be 20 in June. Let me say this. I know a lot of awesome people. And when I say awesome people, I'm speaking specifically about women. I know a lot of great women. I know a lot of awesome women. I know women that have children, don't have children, all of that, right? That haven't even had a lot of partners, that's gorgeous, beautiful, and all of that. Let me say that. Let me say this. If I was divorced today, for whatever, or not even divorced, let's say if I was, God forbid, under any circumstances, but I just want to paint the picture. If I was not in a relationship for whatever reason today, as a man that is incredibly successful, I've had my daughter. I have a vasectomy. I do not plan on having any more kids. I cannot imagine myself ever getting married. And for several reasons. Number one, I'm not looking to, and don't get me wrong, I love being married, but you got to remember that I'm married to the person that I built it with, the person that has my child. And it's a different type of relationship because she knows me in ways that other people, she knows where I come from. She knows how I evolved, and it's a completely different conversation. Conversely, I'm not looking to fit in with nobody else. I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, I could slot you and you fit into a narrative, and I don't need you. I don't need you for kids. I don't need you to build nothing with. I don't need you for sex. I don't need you for nothing. So if you're thinking about it from that perspective, why am I trying to merge my life with yours? I'm never gonna fucking live with you, ever. I'm never letting a woman never move in with me, ever. Can you spend a night? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't trust people like that. So my point is that I don't see the benefit. I don't see the return. I know some really awesome people. But if you spend too much time around them, you start to realize that y'all have evolved in life too much to try to merge our life and go through that storming and norming phase. Now, I'm not saying that marriage is not a good thing and that you shouldn't do it or that it couldn't work or that it couldn't be successful and all of that. I'm saying that I'm never storming and norming no more. I'm never storming, forming, and norming. And those people that's in corporate America, they know what I'm saying. I'm not doing that. For me, it's just bliss. Every fucking thing gotta be bliss. And maybe it's because I'm at a certain point in my life. Maybe it's because I've been able to acquire success. Maybe it's because I don't need nobody for kids. None of that. When I see you, I want you at your best. I just want the best of you. I don't want that other shit. I'm not interested in being there for you when you're sick. I'm not interested in trying to learn who your parents are. I don't want to meet your fucking family. I don't give a fuck about your family. I'm just going to be 100% real. I don't care about your family. I don't care about your mother. I don't care about your father. I don't want to meet. And I know that if I did meet them, I would start to care for them because I would recognize them and I would learn them. But I don't care about your background. I don't care about your situationships. I don't care where you come from. I don't care. I'm not looking to understand you. I'm not looking to learn you. I'm trying to figure out where are you going to fit into this portion of my life where we can have a good fucking time. Then that could be traveling. That could be going on trips. That could be, hanging out at the game. That could be having great conversations. It could be chilling. But the reality is that why would I upend what it is that I got going on in order to make room for you in my life? For what? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I don't give a fuck. I don't need nobody. So if I'm with you or I'm around you, that means that I like being around you for the best of you. I don't care about that other shit. I don't care about what your problems are. I'm not trying to hear what you're dealing with on your job. I'm not. I don't care. I don't care. And I know that as awesome as you are, regardless of your circumstance, that we all got problems because I got fucking issues that I don't want to deal with sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I be wanting to sleep more or I got this to take care of, or I got a daughter that I got to deal with or whatever. You don't want them problems. I know you think you do, but you don't, because I like being by myself a lot of times. That's something that Rita always had to deal with. Anton like traveling by himself. Sometimes Anton got to be in his own fucking head. He got to figure out life. I don't want to be around nobody when I'm figuring out life. I don't want nobody calling me. I ain't interested in kicking it. I don't want to explain myself. I don't want to communicate my thoughts. I'm not trying to let you go deeper into my head. Fuck that. Listen, hey, we going to party, and when I'm not ready to go and have fun, why do I need you? Why would I be sitting here? Nah, ain't nobody said nothing about spending no fucking money on no woman. Let's be clear. Talking about that sugar daddy shit. Stop. Y'all just trying to get saved. Listen, tell me you want to get this bag without telling me you want to get this bag. Ain't nobody said nothing about no sugar daddy. I ain't hiring nobody. I ain't hiring no prostitutes. What the fuck you think this is? That's a form of prostitution, let's be clear. But all I'm saying is, you gotta sell me. And I'm open. And I would love to have the conversation. I know it's probably not gonna be a thing, but I'm open. I'm open to learning. I'm open to hearing it from a woman or a guy, preferably a woman, that'll hit the link and tell me, Anton, this is why you would want to do it. Or have you looked at it from this perspective? Or, I think that you need this or whatever, so on and so forth. Somebody help me. Anybody, preferably a woman, help me to understand why it would make sense for me to get married again if I wasn't married. That's all I'm asking. And don't get me wrong, I don't plan on ever getting divorced, ever. I love being married. I'm cool with it. I'm straight with it. It's a fun time, again, and all of that. But I'm just trying to understand, why would I ever open myself up? Like, why do you want to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want to know about me? What, you want to know my background? You want to know where I came? That's a waste of a conversation. So, in my opinion, and like I said, I'm open to the possibility that I'm wrong. And listen, and I'm not saying that other people shouldn't get married. Everybody has a journey. Everybody has something that they're trying to solve for. Everybody has something that they desire. Everybody has different life experiences. And so my job is to give you the information for you guys to be able to vet effectively. But I don't know, I'm in a different space. A different perspective says, facts, F that. and I love y'all. I'm just trying to understand y'all. And if you can convince me or you can sell me on an idea of why it makes sense, then help me to understand it. But unless you can sell me, then I can't see it. Let me see. What else was happening out here in these streets? We did Candace Owens, the Nature Boy stuff, the woman on EYL. I don't really want to go into the Corey Holcomb thing. I'm just burnt out on Corey right now. I need a break from Corey because Corey has just been going at everybody every single week. And I know that that's a popular subject, but he got the Corey versus everybody. I'm just off that. I seen something with Amanda Seals. I'm not really feeling that. Seen Umar Johnson with Nick Cannon. Lonely in Milwaukee. Yeah. I don't know, man. What else is going on in these streets? Mr. Chime Time spent 3 months in Detroit. I don't really want to talk about that. It was something that I missed. What am I missing, y'all? What am I missing? I'm in Milwaukee, corporate dating, Corey Holcomb. I'm thinking of something, but I'm drawing a blank. It was something specific that I wanted to talk about. Only in Milwaukee, corporate dating, EYL. They calling Shannon Sharp and get gay again. Delusional streamer. I don't want to talk about that. The Risa Tisa. I was able to pull that footage up. I don't know. I don't see nothing that really catch my eye. Trump. Let me see. Trump, as you know, you might want a special woman to marry you. Why would I want that special woman to marry me? Cat Williams on Joe Rogan. I don't know. Cat Williams? I really want to talk about Cat Williams. I'm burnt out on Cat too. I'm not doing no Corey. I'm done with that shit right now. Dame's still out there. Y'all want to talk about the Dame Dash thing? Simps coming after me. That's so funny. That's hilarious. Let's talk about the money. This ain't the Millionaire Morning Show. I heard Cat Williams is out here crashing out, doing too much. Y'all not burnt out on Cat yet? Lonely and more. Damian Lillard. Oh, I know what I want to do. Hispanic men arguing with black men online about why Latinas are submissive. Where is that at? Send me that link and let me see that. Dame Dash did drop the video with Math Hoffa. I don't know if I could pull that up. Where he was talking about, because I know we had the Cameron and Mace thing where they was laughing and talking about acquiring a part of Rockefeller. Let me pull this up real quick. Biden and Trump at the border. I talked about that on the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm not going to do that. And y'all more than welcome to be able to call in and give y'all thoughts too. Let me see if I can pull this up.
On the table, one hand wash the other, you know?
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
That's the way it's supposed to be. And make your life worse in the future.
These niggas need timestamps, bro.
Change.
Right.
And I believe that that's
when
the
I
reason.
stop going to strip clubs, I hope that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it definitely would make your pockets a lot,
Right.
you know, and your girl a lot happier. But again, when people know things are wrong because they're used to it, because they're not 100% confident about who they are, because they don't love themselves, that happens on every level, from business. Like if you know you're getting robbed, but you're still getting a check, you might still do it because you don't think you can do it without them.
Right.
You still think you need them.
Right.
You don't have confidence in yourself. So you're a guy that, from what I understand, I just, listened to a conversation, eye-opening, but you're a guy that, from what I understand, if someone's trying to hurt your person, then you're going to hurt them first, and you protect your body, pause, you know what I mean? You make sure you're all right.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Well, there's a lot of Brooklyn guys that don't approach things like that, just like there's a lot of Harlem guys that don't.
Deliver Brooklyn.
Pardon?
I'm from Pizza Don't Deliver Brooklyn.
Oh, that part.
Yeah.
Where they don't deliver pizza to where you go?
Yeah.
Is it Brownsville?
No.
What part?
I was in Crown Heights, but
Crown
at that
Heights?
time it was.
But you was outside.
Around, yeah,
you were in
outside.
survival mode out there.
Right.
So so your instincts are a little different.
And I look at things like, okay, if this makes sense.
Well, let's look at it like this. Some guys get punched in the eye and get knocked out, and some guys do the punching.
Right.
The ones that are doing the punching are usually the guys that are used to winning. They love themselves. They don't want to get hurt.
Right.
They're not going to accept what's put in front of them. They'll knock a door down if it's closed, right? Some people look the other way. They don't mind that punch in the eye. They can live with it. You understand what I'm saying? And again, to me, that dictates how much you love yourself.
So, right.
And I wasn't just talking about the food. I'm talking about business. I'm talking about education. I always go there with it. But we were talking outside, and you were like, Dame, you didn't want to answer no questions. So I'm gonna give you the opportunity to talk and speak on that. And I could, we could discuss that. I don't mind.
Well,
and then I'll let you do what you want with the conversation. You go where you want.
Well, I don't know if you want to.
Doesn't mean
you
I'm
said
gonna talk
outside.
about
You
it.
didn't want to talk about the shit.
Well,
still,
this is
Give me the timestamp where he spoke on Kevin Hart, Fa Brown. Give me the timestamp. And Dame did not make Jay.
I like, right? There were certain things that people were
Get ready for it. Get ready.
There were certain things that people asked you about,
Right.
and you said you didn't want to talk about it, and you had certain reasons.
Right.
Those are, when I heard what you said, I'm like, those are damn the exact reasons why there's certain things I don't want to talk about. So people want to know But sometimes, for your own personal sanity and because you don't want to shed light to someone that doesn't deserve it,
Right.
you will pass. So that is my reason is the same as your reason. I just want to know if you can.
respect that.
Yeah, that's all.
What are you saying? Low man wins. Is this the same dude CW said? SA some girl. I don't even know what you're talking about. I will tell y'all this though. C Dub had came to my platform and it was an interview. I have 2 unreleased interviews that I never dropped. What C Dub, because one of them he was speaking specifically about math, and I guess they had squashed it or something like that. He was like, Anton, don't release that one because whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then another one, we actually had shot some additional footage at his mother's house, right? So I have 2 unreleased interviews that I'll probably never, ever release. And I got them in the vault. So that's pretty interesting that you say that. But yeah, I got 2 unreleased interviews that probably never see the light of day.
I saw you do it.
And it's only because I respect my people. Because the first thing that I say when I kick it with people is, hey, is it anything that you don't want me to ask you? That's number one. And then after I interview them, I ask them, I say, hey, is it anything that you want to take out of this thing? Because I want to make sure that you're cool with everything that we talked about. So even if they hit me up later and they be like, hey, man, whatever, blah, 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 I'll remove it. I ain't tripping, or I'll just completely take it off. So it's interesting that you say that, though.
So that's the reason why. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of times people do want to hear the story of Rockefeller. And a lot of times I might speak about a lot of things and a little section be about things that are asked, and that's all you hear. And then it looks like I'm the guy that's saying it. Yeah. And then I got to hear other people, well, his name is like all that. And then I got to feel a way about people that are saying it, all of that. So it just comes with a lot of layers of bullshit. Mm. And when I do talk about certain things, it's because of maybe someone's taking me to court and I need to make certain things clear because I'm honest and I'm transparent. And that's the only way I can protect myself in this moment. Right. Because I don't care what anybody says to me. If you're
I think that Dame loves to hear himself talk.
Real hustler, you always broke. Because
33.45, or I'm gonna get to it in a minute.
You always betting all your re-up money. You bet it all on what you're trying to get. So if I'm trying to get, let's say in the street, it all works. It just takes a matter of time. See, certain ventures were done in a way that it made it work quicker because I was able to use other people's money, like Rockefeller. So what happens
is he telling me that every single business venture that he ever did worked? Come on, man. I don't know nobody that don't have no failures. I don't know one person that don't have no failures. You telling me that every single thing that you ever, because if it's true, and I'm not saying that it's not true, I'm just asking a question. Every single business venture that you've ever tried in your entire life has worked. Nothing that you've ever tried did not work. And let me go get some more drink. Give me a second.
I'll build a company, right? And by the time I understand how to make the money, I've spent all the money. And then I have to go to another company just to pause grow. It's growth. Right. Some people raise money, they might raise 100 million, and they can burn 100 million, and then it turns over. It's like gambling, you just keep betting the bank. But for me, as an independent, there were ways that I went and things were accelerated, but I didn't get the margin, I didn't get the lion's share, I didn't end up owning it, I couldn't pass it to my kids, and I didn't like the people I work with. So I was just like, yo, if I got this much money, I'm gonna just flip. And that's just what I do. So I flipped to make enough content to make a platform like American New, to be able to have the ad tech and be able to get the CPMs and the data, be able to broadcast live, be able to have all of these cameras, all this equipment, everything you see. Right. So let's say, everything fails and I got to liquidate, then I guess I would have some bread. But while the art is on the wall and the money's in the equipment until the company turns over. That's my version of broke. And you don't really, like where I grew up, if you saw somebody in the street that was getting money, you'd be like,
Said he 21 and 0.
yo, you getting all the money. They'd be like, nah, I'm fucked up. Because you know what comes after that? Let me hold some.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Now I gotta ask. You know, we both come from humble beginnings. When you started to really make money, was there,
I'm gonna get to the Kevin.
that period of survivor's guilt?
I don't think I've ever hit that lick of really making money. I make more money than the average 99% of the world. I always have.
Right.
Like 6 digits, 7 digits. You know, like again, when I'm broke, we still spending a couple of million a year.
Right.
But it just goes into business.
Well, but even
like that's
even
that thing.
So, but that people from your neighborhood, how many people from that neighborhood get to that level?
Well, what I do
Once
is
you got to that level, knowing those people from the neighborhood and wanting to stay connected.
The first round of Rockefeller, I tried to look out for everybody.
Right.
And all you could do, like if you give someone some money, that's not looking out for them, that's enabling. You have to give them an opportunity for them to grow and go be a man. So I gave everyone that opportunity. Every one of my friends that would go to jail, I bid with them when they came home. I put them on paper. I make sure they had a Rockefeller chain, a Jacobs watch, an apartment, and a car.
What were their duties?
It would be to find what you love. So some would run different verticals. So I might put one with the liquor. I might make one an A&R. I might put one with the movies.
Listen, that is admirable. And I think that somebody said it in the chat and they said that he's too loyal. But see, in my opinion, these are the characteristics of a bad business person. Now, you may be, think about it like this. You may be smart and what you did that ultimately jumped off, or aligning yourself with the right person that ultimately jumped off to be successful. Cool. But being able to listen, I respect the people, not just that could become successful, but the lessons learned is how did they fumble it? Listen, Hammer made a lot of money in his lifetime, but then at the same time, that don't mean that he was able to keep it. And so to take people and say, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a position to run the liquor. We're not saying whether or not these people is qualified to run the liquor. So, nigga, you come home from jail. We cool. I'm going to give you a chain, a car, an apartment, and an opportunity. Dog, what makes this nigga qualified to be able to run the liquor division? No, we don't say the same things. Man, listen, I'm not putting nobody in a position that don't know shit about the position just because I want to put you on and you my homie. Listen, that is the classic way to have a nigga send you broke. That's the classic way to send a nigga. That's charity. I'm not creating a position for you so you can go and find your way. You're not about to break me. How do we say the same thing? So I'm going to put you on just because I'm going to put you on. Not that you have any tangible skills, not that you have anything transferable, not that you could be in a position of power or whatever. I'm just going to put you on. Now, that's the definition of being foolish. That's too loyal. That's too loyal, and that's how you crash the fuck out.
I might, like if you look at me when I'm in Paris or when I'm running around the world, I really got my homeboys with me. Dudes from my block. Claudie B.
Nah.
Kurt. Right. Bob Alab, God bless the dead. Big Face Gary. Jay Black.
Right.
Like the whole Best Out was working underneath the umbrella at that point in time.
You're talking about people who
people
are already
in
the habit of making the money.
Well,
I'm talking about the people who know you, the people that you feel, okay, I made it to this level, but you still fucked.
I wasn't finished.
Okay.
So that would be one round, and then the people I grew up with. So, I'm not gonna say their names, but yeah, the people who's like one of my friends, I'll say like Radu.
All right, so let's use Fa Brown's example, right? He says, you say go broke every month on assets. That's what Dame just said as well. No, that's not what he said. Dame said that he go broke investing in businesses. I say on assets. That's the difference. I do it for tax purposes, meaning that I'm incentivized to reinvest my money back into the spaces that's making me money. I'm not just getting rid of money just for the sake of getting rid of money. I'm getting rid of money in order to make sure that I prevent myself from paying more in taxes while increasing my net worth. I'm not just getting rid of money. You see what I'm saying? So the context matters. I say go broke because why would I pay $500,000 in taxes on $1 million? No, all businesses are not assets. They aren't. All businesses are not assets. They aren't. Because you got to develop an exit strategy, especially for the type of businesses that a lot of these people are invested in. Some of these businesses are black holes. Macy's is closing 150 stores right now. Macy's is closing 150 stores right now. Okay. All right. You know what? Listen. You can't get me to liquidate at a position of something that's meaningful to me and sit here and have the same conversation. Mason Cam was just on a live stream talking and laughing about being able to acquire an asset. Hypothetically, they said, about being able to acquire one of the most coveted assets that's been fought over between him and the person that he goes on a live stream and talk about on a regular basis. For a song and a bird.
Right? I grew up with Radu. I grew up in his house. His mother damn near raised me, you know, and all his brothers taught me how to be a man, you know, up to where I had to get a little bit more of a man.
Right.
But they were definitely my brothers. So Dave, Craig, all of them.
Y'all, anybody is more than welcome to be able to call in. The link is pinned to the top of the chat.
Rockwood. When Darren came home from jail, he had a job at Rockwood. Like you can't say that when I'm up, I don't try to empower the people that cared about me when I was younger, whether they hustled or did not.
Right.
But I always tried to put someone in position to at least have an entry-level way to learn the business and then to evolve.
Did it ever get sticky to the...
Always got sticky, pause. Because if someone doesn't perform...
And we got to stop saying pause so much, bro. We too old for this pause stuff, bro. Respectfully.
And I got to pay for it. And you got to remember, I got other partners. So that was the thing is, when you got 4 or 5 partners, I can't just look out for everybody. I got to get everyone's permission. So one of the issues at Rockefeller, I'll give you this, was that for me to sign an artist, Biggs had to vote, Jay had to sign off, and Lior had to sign off. So in the Kanye doc, and they were like, yo, why the paperwork wasn't done? It was because Jay wouldn't sign off. That was the problem. I couldn't get Jay and Lior to sign off. So I couldn't tell them that. It would break their heart.
Right.
But now I'm taking the blame for it. But it's all good. You know,
Right.
when Kanye wanted to do 3 videos for Jesus Walks, that was in the middle of me negotiating my deal to sell the company. I went to Florida and flipped on him. Like, how you going to tell that kid what to make? And he already made the money back. He recouped. He went go. And he's going to, when he comes back to renegotiate, if we treat him a certain way. But they would be looking at me like, why can't I do 3 videos? And I'm not going to tell them my fight. So they would just blame it on me.
Right.
Go ahead. What's up, Fa?
Yo, AD. What's up?
What's happening?
What's up? Yeah, no, ain't you? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's saying the same thing you say as far as the investing in the business part.
How?
Cause he saying invest your money in business instead of you say
And
go
what
broke
type of
pretty much
business?
every month.
What type of businesses?
You said in assets. Yeah, you say that all the time.
And what type of, then why is he going broke? Why? No, because the going broke don't really, see, here's the thing. Going broke don't mean going broke. Going broke means for me that I don't care about cash. That's the difference. But my net worth is absolutely exploding. So going broke means that I'm not cash heavy, in which I just work to where I get the money and then I have to pay taxes on 50% because I'm in a certain type of tax bracket. But going broke means to make sure that you spending the money wisely so that you can continue to increase your net worth. And so it's almost like a shell game, right? Because you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself while at the same time, listen, I'll give you an example. In corporate America, I never want them to give me a high salary, ever. Ever. Well, why? Because I would prefer for them to give me equity. Or why would I prefer for them to be able to give me equity? Because I understand that the equity continues to appreciate over a period of time, specifically if I actually believe in the company, because our compensation is tied to the performance of the company. And more importantly, I don't have to pay taxes on that until I liquidate.
Right.
So my point is that going broke is the cash. But if you can't pull money out of whatever it is that you're pulling money out of in order to be able to take care or satisfy your problems or your issues or whatever it is that you got going on, then that means you broke. See, a rich person's broke and a person that's just thinking regular's broke is two different brokes. So a lot of people will say, well, it's saying the same thing, but the context is different. Because
I get
again,
what you're saying.
why is Mace and Cameron laughing about being able to acquire hypothetically 1/3 of, or I'm sorry, Dame's portion of the Rockefeller Reasonable Doubt album if you can't liquidate enough to be able to satisfy the judgment to keep your ownership in it? That's an appreciating
He's
asset.
been trying to sell it though.
No,
He
he
been trying to
has.
sell. Remember they was fighting. They was
Come on,
fighting
fam.
before over the what was it, the NFT?
Come on,
Because
fam.
he was trying to sell it.
No.
He
Stop it.
was.
He's trying
That
to
was
sell
like
it to
what? That was
who?
like last year or two ago. Remember
Trying to sell it to
they was
who?
beefing over that.
Who wouldn't Reasonable Doubt?
No, Biggs and Jay-Z blocked it. That's why he couldn't sell it. He only
Yeah,
1/3, not
because he wasn't
2/3.
trying to sell it to them. He was trying to
Right.
just sell it. No. He was just trying to sell it so that he can finesse it. But this is crazy. This is crazy. Okay, so if they blocked it, then why wouldn't they block it from selling it to Cameron and Mace?
I don't know. I'm just saying, but the NFT thing, he tried it a
They
year or two
blocked
ago
him
and
from
he
being able
blocked
to
it.
do that type of deal with the product because he need their approval in order to do an NFT deal. But he was not prevented from being able to sell the product because if that was the case, then why would Jay sign off on him selling it to Mason Cam?
Yeah, I don't know.
See, y'all
But
just
I'm
be
just
saying
saying he
something.
was. No, I'm just saying he really was trying to sell it though. Yeah, that's a fact. That really happened though.
And if he would have did an NFT deal, that shit would have been trash because we all know what happened to NFTs, which makes it
Right. They
even more,
everybody that was all a finesse from
more
everybody.
valid that it would have been a bad deal. And just because people go out and do stuff, don't mean that it makes sense.
Right. And he been trying to sell it because he said Jay-Z, that's the only this Dame word is not mine, but he said that's the only album he don't promote no more, but it's cause he still got ownership in it. So he think that Jay don't push it because him and Dame beef over the years or whatever. So
Somebody said they blocked him from selling the NFT. He wasn't trying to sell a stake in the business.
right. That's exactly. It was
So
just
he
an
wasn't
NFT.
trying to
It
sell
wasn't
it, but now he being forced to sell it because you telling me he not liquid enough to be able to come up with 800,000, 900,000, according to what the news is saying.
Yeah, not sure.
Come on, man. You can't come up with nine. I should have bought that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm
But he
saying?
been trying to sell for a minute though. But I don't think that attribute to him being. I'm not sure if that attribute to
I'm
him
not
being
saying
broke.
that he broke. That's not
Yeah, I
the argument. My argument is because first of all, you know what I'm saying, broke is subjective. Like different people is broke and whatever. I'm just saying that relative, if you look at it on the surface, you could say, well, yeah, y'all saying the same thing. But in reality, I don't think it's the same thing.
No, you broke it. Yeah, you broke it down. The difference. I'm just saying on the surface level is just like you say something similar, like go broke every month. You say go broke on assets every month. You want to go broke every month. He's saying he go broke on, his business ventures. He want to all money out, all money in.
Well, listen, you keep following Dame, and then
No, I'm just saying y'all say something similar.
no, we not. We not similar. We not at
Right.
all. Listen, if I would prefer to be compared to Jay than Dame all day long.
No,
I don't want to be a
I
fucking
think you're
Dame.
more similar to Dame, to be
I
honest.
don't want to be a
They
Dame.
did.
Well, that means that I need to go back to the drawing board and figure my fucking life out. If y'all comparing me to that, I'm
It's different, but it's close. Yeah, man. Y'all,
no, it's
yeah,
not.
like that's why I take a liking to both of y'all.
Nope. I'm
Yeah,
out. I'm out. I don't want to
and
be
also,
that.
yeah, when you was talking about the other day, he did put Jay on. Yeah, like Jay took the ball and ran with it, but
How did he
he
put them
put Jay
on
in
if
the
they came
game.
in as partners?
No. Look up the backstory though. Jay was I think 29 or 30 when they started Reasonable Doubt.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Jay couldn't get signed. They shopped him around the other labels. That's why I forgot who put them together, but Dame became his manager, and then Dame said he couldn't get him signed. They was shopping him around to everybody. They was like, we want somebody 21, 22. That was the wave back then. He was like, he 29, 30. That wasn't the wave. He was an old rapper. He was considered old, and Dame had the idea, said, hey, remember, Jay didn't even know Biggs. That's Dame homie from
What
when
does
they
that
from
got to do with you saying that you put me on? If I partner with a dude to do a deal because that deal didn't work out, how does that mean you put me on?
Dame had the idea to start Rockefeller. He said
That
that
don't
we
mean that
can't
you
get
put
you
me
signed, so
on. That
we
just
gonna
means that you
start.
got a good idea.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but Jay-Z was about to stop rapping. He said, I can't get signed. I'm about to stay in the streets. Remember, they was all selling drugs.
Okay, so what does that mean? That don't mean you
Yeah,
put
so
me
he
on. That
said,
mean that
all
we
right,
all came together. See, putting me on mean that you signed me. Putting me on
about good.
is what they did with Kanye. Putting me on don't mean that we gonna form this company together and then be.
Speaking of Kanye, Dame, that was Dame idea too. Thank
What
you.
does that got to
You
do?
put me to my next point.
You're moving the goalposts.
I'm not. I'm just saying. But he started the label though. Jay didn't have that idea. Dame did, and Dame bought the third partner in Biggs. That was his homie, and
So
they
that
all
means
three
that
put
they
their money
came
up to start
together.
Rockefeller.
That means that
Yeah.
they came together as a group. They
Yes.
created that don't mean putting me on. Putting me on is signing me.
That's
Partnering
Dame's
together to
idea.
do
How
a
that's not
deal.
signing him though,
I don't
AD?
care whose
That's
idea it is. I don't care whose idea it is. You didn't put me on. I'm not gonna let niggas take credit for my success. We came together as a partner. Now you contributed equally to our success together, but you didn't put me on. Ain't nobody putting me on.
I think so. He did. How if you was about to chalk something, and then I'm like, say you was about to chalk YouTube, and then I said, AD, let's say you was about to chalk another platform, and then you, and somebody else started YouTube, and then you've been the king of YouTube since we started YouTube. But you was
What does
about
that
to
mean? That
stop,
don't
then
mean you
go
put
back
me
to your.
on. It's a
How if
lot
we
of people
started
that
YouTube
became
together?
listen. Kevin Samuels gave a lot of credit to a lot of people for impacting, influencing, and also allowing for him to be
Yeah.
able to speak on their platforms in order to big him up. But
Right.
Kev put Kev on.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Can't nobody take credit for that man's success. Nobody can
That's
take credit
different.
for another man's success unless you signed him. And if you didn't sign him, then you didn't put nobody on. Putting somebody on is, hey, listen, I'm about to sign you to a deal. You looking for me. You looking for me to sign you to a deal. You work for me. That's putting somebody on is you work for me.
So since they was
Ain't
three-way
nobody gonna
partners,
take
that
credit for
don't
my
count.
success. And that's why I love when what Jay said, listen, nigga, everybody want to take credit for Hove, then make another Hove then. Make
He
another
did.
one then.
He did.
Who?
Kanye.
That's
Jay wasn't
no.
trying to let
Ye
Kanye rap.
was already there. Ye was already on when Jay said that. When Jay dropped
Jay
that.
made the beat though.
When
AD.
Jay
Jay made the
dropped that
beat.
song, listen, it ain't been one artist since Jay dropped that song that he put on and
Hmm.
was successful? Not one. I know you love Dame. I know you
Yeah, I
love
do. You
Dame.
know I do.
But it does. But you got to
Yeah,
look at it objectively. Can't nobody. You can't take Jay's success and say that it's because of somebody else.
yeah. Jay ran the
Jay's
but
success is because of Jay's success.
Jay ran it up after AD. I admit. I'm not saying like, oh, he owe his whole career to him, but the start,
He
you
did
got
not
to
put
give
him
Dame the
on.
credit.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
No, I'm not giving him the credit. No. As a matter of
yeah.
fact, I will give Dame credit for attaching himself to a nigga that was gonna be successful.
He wasn't though. If he couldn't
Nigga
get signed before
Rockefeller.
him,
Listen. If it wasn't for Jay, we wouldn't know who Dame is.
but that worked both ways. They did. That's what I'm saying.
So
Because Jay wasn't getting
but
signed.
did
Ain't
Jay?
like
But wait. Do we
Go
say
ahead. Go
that
ahead.
Jay? Do we say that Jay put Dame on? No,
They
we
put each
don't.
other on. I'll admit that. Yeah,
No.
they both did. Yeah.
Nobody says Jay put Dame on, even though you wouldn't know who Dame is without Jay. Nobody says that.
I'm just saying it go both ways.
It
That's all I'm
doesn't.
saying.
It doesn't because nobody put anybody on. Jay didn't put Dame on. Dame didn't put Jay on. They came together as a partnership, and then they wind up being successful as a result of the partnership. But nobody put nobody on.
AD, so he don't get extra credit. All right, I
No,
would give
niggas
him
don't
even
get
extra
extra
credit because
credit. This ain't no platform.
listen. The third person. Listen, we forgetting about Biggs here. Biggs was the third party.
Okay, so Biggs
Dame
also
pulled
was a
Briggs
part of the
in. Jay Z didn't
partnership,
know
and
Biggs.
he benefited also when they all came together and they created a business together. Didn't nobody put nobody
Yeah,
on?
you gotta give Dame
Why
that
y'all want to
credit
give
for
niggas other
for
niggas
the
credit,
idea
man?
though,
Man, no,
because he had
man,
the
no,
idea. If Jay Z
no.
was about to chalk it,
That don't
he was
mean
just
that
about to
you
say,
put me
"Forget it. I'm
on
not
because
going.
you
I
got
ain't
an
make it."
idea. It's a lot of people that got great ideas, and that don't mean that you put me on.
Uh,
Why y'all trying to conflate that shit?
so what? What about Kanye then? You wouldn't count it to Kanye neither.
Yeah, why wouldn't I? They put Kanye on.
Thank you. All right. So Kanye and Kevin Hart. That's what I'm saying. That's we because I commented the other day
I don't know nothing
when we was
about
talking
Kevin
about
Hart.
Dame, and
I
I was
can't speak.
saying,
I can't speak on
huh?
Kevin Hart. I don't know their story. I don't know Kevin Hart's story enough to be able to speak on that.
Paper
However,
Soldiers and
I don't know. Listen, I
yeah, I
don't know
do.
Kevin Hart's story, and the fact that you so biased means that I wouldn't believe you when you tell if you was to
I'm
tell me
not.
the story.
I ain't biased.
However,
I'm from Philly,
however,
so I know Kev's story. Yeah, I'm
however,
from Philly.
however, I will say yeah that he put Kanye on 100%.
No, Kev too. Kev too.
Why you can't just
Yeah, I'm not
accept
being biased.
Kanye?
I ain't being biased.
Why you
I'm
can't
just
accept
yeah.
Kanye?
Why I can't what?
Why you can't just accept Kanye?
I accept him. What you mean? Yeah, I accept him.
So why you got to
I'm just
throw that
saying
in?
Kev.
And I'm telling you
Kev
that I
there
don't
too
know
though.
Kev's story.
I'm just saying it's the similar story with Kev. He put Kev in his first two
I
movies.
don't know
So
anything about that. I can't speak to that. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about something that I'm not familiar with.
yeah, I'm letting you know. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. So,
All right, fine.
all right.
All right, bye. Yo, what up, D?
What up, man? What's going on?
Slow motion. What's happening?
Chilling, man. Just tapping in, man. Wanted to see what's going on with y'all tonight. It's
What's
just
your
you?
thoughts? You got
No
any
free?
thoughts?
Man, I really don't follow the hip hop like gossip too much. I don't know a whole bunch about Dame Dash's story, so I'm just kind of listening in. I was interested in that little segment you did with the female and the corporate ladder and how she was, single and old and all that stuff, but I'm really not into the hip hop gossip and stuff like that. I don't really follow it, so I don't have much to say about it.
All right, so you want to wait until the next segment?
Yeah, I tapped in and then it just so happened you was already on this one by the time I got on.
All right, big dog. I'm gonna catch you in a minute.
Yep.
All right, bye. Let me get over to the Kevin Hart part. You said 33, 35, right? think he said 33, 35.
You know, I'm going to do it the right way. I know how to, not to say sketch, but I know how to design, get tech packs, do patterns, source fabric. I know how to do all those things from a creator's perspective. Like for every artist that I put out, I got a record that I made. For everybody that I help with a clothing line, I got my own clothing line. You got a fashion show, I got a fashion show. You got a book, I got a book. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I would tend to like a Kevin Hart. I think Kev just be mad because I be cutting him up. I just heat him up. Whoa. So I'm just funnier than him when we together. You know what I'm saying? So he be mad. Comedians get really mad when you. I be like, how you mad and you the most offensive nigga in the whole world?
That's just the crazy thing about it, right? I mean, we looking at this Cat Williams situation with Shannon Sharp, and all the things that Cat said about Kevin and him being an industry plan and all that. Being that you were the first person to put a camera in front of Kevin and give him a break with Paper Soldiers.
Kev be on some sucker shit. One day Irv called me and was like, Irv Gotti.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, I was like, yo, because he said he was with him or whatever. I said, tell him to post my shit for the movie. And he was like, man, Kev ain't fucking with you, man. I said, why? And he was like, I guess you caught him in the Barney's with Uggs and teased him in front of his girl. I'm like, he's mad about that?
He had Uggs on?
Yeah, I can show it to you. You ain't see it? You want to see?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yo, you got my phone? Where's my phone?
Can we put this on screen? Can we?
What? All right, let me just let me play a little bit more of this so I can understand what's going on.
Can we project it?
I always cut it.
Exhibit A.
I cut to it.
Now I'm gonna hit you up. Listen, you bum ass nigga. Why you got on those Uggs? I don't like it. I'm not gonna say anything.
He's an all-black ninja Ugg man right now. I don't know who he's turning into, but I'm heating him up right now.
You're missing a tooth.
I'm doing a movie. He's looking like a feminine ninja right now.
I can't talk to that.
Yo, I'm like, yo, this nigga got Yo, you got crunch right now?
Yo, Cam, if he ever bothers you again, look at these Uggs right now. Don't you ever put pressure on anybody in my crew again. When you wearing these Uggs, you got on Uggs. Cam, you see him? You see him? Cam, you see him? Don't play with me.
Cam, I dare you to ask Dan.
Yeah, and his breath stink bad right now. Ask his girl how bad his breath stink right now. This nigga eating mayonnaise gum. I don't know what's going on. You got crunch. Yo, I'm killing him.
Okay, that's it.
But what happened was he had caught Cameron, and he teased Cameron like some shit. Like so, Cameron called me like, "Yo, you know, I came around. I mean, you know, I ran into Kevin. You know, he said some slick shit that was kind of funny." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, so you like being the big brother? You're like, okay,
just
when
like
I see
that.
him, I'm gonna cook.
So I said, he knows you with me. I got him next time I see him. And yo, it just so happened the next week, I hadn't seen Kevin in a while.
Right.
I'm walking through Barney's with my daughter. I got a dog I don't usually have out, Cookie, and he's in tight leotards with Uggs on. And I'm like, yo, you got on Uggs? And I'm like, yo, Cam, don't ever let this, like, I'm gonna show it to you. You bring me my phone, I'm gonna show it to you.
Did you record this? You recorded this?
I posted it up. But you know, it's jokes and shit.
Yeah, right.
Like I went to a Jay-Z concert with my daughter.
Recently?
Not recently.
Yeah.
She was 15, so she's 20, about 10 years ago.
Right.
And, you know, everyone was shocked to see me. But again, you know, to me, like that, the relationship I had with him was like, I would be like, yo, if I needed some tickets or some shit, I said he always gave me carte blanche, Jay, a gentleman.
Right.
So he made sure I was there. I walked through, I'm there with my daughter and all that shit. And Emery started passing me some of that drink they got, and that shit got me too drunk.
Douce?
Douce, I think he spiked that shit. I got way too drunk.
Right.
This nigga Kev had me in a chicken wing and all that shit. And all that. I got it all on tape. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, I know Kev. We like,
Right.
he's like my little brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I guess he was mad over it.
The Uggs?
But I do have the Uggs, and I think because his
What
girl
color?
was there.
What color were they?
They were all black with
Did
the
they have on
with
like
the fuzzies.
Were they matching? They both
I'm
had
gonna
the Uggs
show
on?
you. Nah, the girl would look.
Oh, she didn't have the Uggs on.
I was like, why? And then his breath was crazy. So I'm like, yo, your breath stink, right? And I'm like, ask your girl, right? I'm like, ask your girl right now to smell your breath. Like, if you don't, I'm not even snapping. This shit is crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, don't ever let your breath smell like this ever in life. Not even when you wake up. It shouldn't smell like that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even
Right.
smoke. So, yeah, so I don't know, Kev, why you mad? Just post my shit up, you my nigga. What's up?
That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? That's all. But
All right, I got you. Let's see. Turn your YouTube down, big dog.
Quiet now. Yeah. Remember he was on top of Dave?
Turn your YouTube down, bro.
Hello?
Yo, what up?
Yo, what's good, man? I was just calling to tell you, man. Yo, that last caller bodied you, bro. Yo,
Oh
pack it up.
yeah.
Go to sleep, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's what
Yeah,
you was
he
holding
bodied
on.
you, bro. Pack it
That's what
up,
you was
man.
holding
Bump
in the
up body you,
background
man.
for.
Yeah, body you, bro. Go to sleep, man. Fuck out of here.
All right. So yeah. All right. Let me continue.
yeah, I'm like, you know, for some reason, everyone always finds some little.
They waited in the background for a long time just to be able to say that. And you had you had two grown men that was in the background. One of them had a do-rag on. The other one had girl shorts on. And these niggas was in the background up late at night at 2:48 a.m. in the room with no hoes. And they waited in the background all of that time just to say that. And then one of them was like, let me tell you, because I wanted to bring him on camera, but because one of them called, and then he was like, hey, he here, right? Because he hurry up and called the guy in on the phone to come in the background to come in and say, hey, you want to say something to him? I was like, all right, cool. I just sat there and I was looking at him, and they like, yeah, man, the last caller, he bodied you, man. Go to bed. I was like, nigga, y'all was sitting in the background waiting all that time in order to do that shit? One nigga got girl shorts on. The other nigga got a do-rag on. No holes in the background. Two roommates sitting in the back talking shit. Come on, man. My nigga. Don't ever call my show, nigga, with girl shorts on. Don't ever call my show with girl shorts on, my nigga. Sitting in there with a nigga at 3 a.m. with a do-rag on. Come on, man. And you niggas was sitting in the background for all of that time? Let me get back. Because, nigga, that was some crazy shit right there. And I actually screenshotted that shit. But because I love you niggas, and because I respect y'all and I'm a man of my word, meaning that, man, I should put you niggas up on a Summer Jam screen. But because I say I'm a man of my word and I'm not gonna put y'all on the Summer Jam screen unless you actually agree to be on the Summer Jam screen, I'm gonna let you niggas live. But nigga, I seen all of your thighs, nigga. At first I thought that was a fucking woman. I said, who is this woman with these thick thighs that's calling into my show? That's why I made sure that I stopped it in the middle of it in order to be able to get you popping. No, they was not in the dark. It was it was lights on. It was lights on. I said, who is this badass bitch that's calling into my show with her thighs out? And then when they answered the phone, he was like, hello? Hello? Shit, that's not a man. So, and then he showed himself. I said, oh, it's a light-skinned nigga. And then he called dark-skinned nigga in with the do-rag on. And then the do-rag nigga was the one that was speaking, and the light-skinned nigga was holding up the phone to his face. I said, look at these badass bitches in here calling into my show, talking shit. Yeah, the nigga was seriously, the nigga was showing me his thighs, bro. Real talk. Y'all want to see the nigga thighs? I did. I won't show y'all his face, but I'll show you this nigga thighs. This nigga had thighs on. Yes, man, this nigga was thick in the thighs, and then he had another grown man in there, and these niggas was watching me on TV. Swear on everything, these niggas was watching me on TV, and this nigga had his thighs out.
Little bitch ass reason not to want to look out for things that don't cost $1. They just won't post my shit. So either way, Kanye will not post my shit. I don't know why. That's my nigga, that's my brother, but he will never post my shit. You ever seen him post my shit?
No.
I've asked. Like, don't think the conversation, all right, boom. Tiffany Haddish was in my spot in Burbank, right? And we, you know, she's the coolest to me. She will help, she will post. I love Tiffany Haddish. I don't care what nobody says about Tiffany Haddish.
Right.
And we done made music, wrote scripts, and she was in the spot, and I'm like, call Kev. So she FaceTimes Kev, and we talking, I'm like, yo, why you won't post my shit? He's like, yo, I'm not gonna post you with basketball shorts doing rock and roll. So I'm like, nigga, you watching me and you won't post it? So when I walked away, he thought I walked away. I see him going, get out of there, get out of there. He's telling her, I'm like, yo, what type of time you want? I don't know if he was joking, but it was like, he telling him to get out of there. So yeah, that's my man. And, you know, they have their little ways or whatever it is. I don't feel a way. I still love them all when I see them. But, you know, I don't know why they don't support.
But does it disappoint you?
Of course it does.
To see, like, yo, the opportunities that I gave
This is what I want. Anyone that interviews Kev, and he'll say it, Dame put me in my first movie. Why you won't post this shit? You got to ask those people.
Do you believe that?
Let me ask y'all a question, because I'm kind of objective about it. I don't know what their relationship is and none of that. Let me read these super chats, and then I'm going to ask y'all my question. Blaze says, Dame did the work and had the connection. Jay just shut up and dribbled. Shout out to Blaze Skywalker. Dialect One says, Dame Dash is a bitter old man that's so sad to watch. Billy Goat Gruff says, 80, this is why NY don't like Harlem dudes, BK rule. That's why Brooklyn stays sticking a gun in Harlem mouth. We rock with Shy more than Harlem. Fact. Really? Wow. Bros, Daisy Duke sent it up. All right, so here's my question to the chat. And anybody that actually want to call in with a reasonable argument. Because I'm always open to a debate. Here's my question. Let's say, because I don't know the history between Kevin Hart and Dame Dash like that. So I got to go based off of speculation. He said that Dame put him in his first movie, Paper Soldiers or something, right? And okay, cool. Dope. Love it. Awesome. Here's my question. How long do you owe somebody a favor? Is it for life? Is it for life? Is it, you know, how many favors can you pull with a nigga? Right? That's my question. Because I know it's a lot of people are gonna be like, because I don't got a dog in the Kevin Hart fight. Now I'm a fight on a Jay-Z one because I don't believe that nobody put the nigga on. I think he put himself on. Because you can't be a partner with me, nigga, and then tell me that you put me on. That's bullshit. However, here's my thing. And let me read this super chat. Shout out to Five. Five says, much love, AD. Forgot to mention Dame paid in full too. I still would pay money to see you get that Dame interview, big bro. Nah, I'm good. I appreciate you, Five. Thank you for supporting the platform and holding me down, big dog. Here's my question. How long are you indebted to a nigga that put you on? If you the Kevin Hart. Said it depends on how big the favor, pay back what was given to you. How do you pay back what was given to you? What do you mean? You benefited off the fact that I was in it also, right? You made the movie. I didn't really get paid nothing, I'm assuming. I got visibility. You made money from it. Whatever, you made your movie company, cool. Everybody benefited. Like, I don't see Cube coming back and saying, hey, man, Cat Williams, whatever, you need to do this, you need to do that. I don't understand that. Pay what back? What does he owe him? What is the number that he owe him? Pay what back?
That after that movie, that's what, like, Cat Williams calling him a plant. How realistic is that?
I don't know. I mean, he would do things like, for example, they had asked me to produce Soul Plane, and I got offended because I didn't like white people making money off making fun of us. So I was like, yo, you need to watch it.
No offense, like Kev, I've seen plenty of stuff that I fuck with, but Soul Plane, I could never feel comfortable sitting in a movie theater watching people laugh at
us. Yeah.
Us. Like,
so and it's not us.
Ironically enough, I've never seen Soul Plane. I've never, which I don't have an opinion either way, but I've never seen Soul Plane before.
Just never.
He came through, was like, I'm doing Soul Plane. I'm like, you are? I just walked away from that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never do that. So, I wouldn't braid another man's hair on a billboard. Like, I wouldn't do that. I don't care if it's Will Ferrell. I don't care who it is.
Right.
So, because it'd just be joke. I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So he has done things that I know I didn't raise him to do, but he has a different kind of comedy.
But okay,
I'm not judging
just
him.
being fair, I'm
I
sure
don't
there's
even
things
care.
that Richard Pryor did that you wouldn't do. Correct.
Yeah, but
Right.
like fuck Marlon Brando. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely, I'm not doing a lot.
That's why he don't. That's why. See, listen, man. Look, he keep wondering why he don't get no love or he don't get people that fuck with him or whatever like that. Man, this nigga burn every single fucking bridge that he can find. It seemed like. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like he burned it's always fuck this person or whatever, or so on and so forth, whatever. And that's cool on what you stand on. But then don't come back and say, man, I don't know why this person don't post me. I don't know why this don't happen. I don't know why this will happen. And he said it and he rehashed it, right? He replayed it. He wanted to put up the footage. He still got it in his phone. He wanted to hurry up and show Math High for the footage of what he said to Kev and all of this shit. Whatever. Cool. All right, dope. So then you want to sit there and say, but you won't repost my shit. You mean you using a platform in order to get visibility for some shit that was a long time ago, but then you say man, I don't know, bro. Blaze says Kev don't owe Dame Ish. Zoe says the rule is favor for a favor, doesn't matter the size. That was there when it counted. And we owe niggas shit now? This is crazy, bro. I don't know, man.
Other shit he would do. So that's what they said. You know what I mean? So yeah.
They say I'm tripping. Maybe I'm off. They say I'm tripping. Let me tell you something, bro. This is why I roll solo dolo. This is why I don't ask nobody for no motherfucking thing. I will rather get it out the mud and do it myself than to ask anybody for a fucking favor. I have never asked anybody for a favor, ever. Everybody that I never did business with, I take care of them. I make sure I give them what they ask for. I compensate them. Whatever it is, if I don't want to fuck with you or I don't like your price or whatever, or you doing too much or you don't see the benefit in coming, then we just don't do it. And I'm cool and I'm all right with walking away. I don't feel like I need nobody, bro. Anybody that had never posted me, anybody that had never said something good to me or whatever, they did that out of the goodness of their heart. But I ain't never, ever asked nobody to do shit for me. Everything I got, I'ma earn it because I don't want nobody coming back to acting like they made me. Nigga, nah. You did that out of the goodness of your heart, dog, or you fuck with the platform or you fuck with what we was doing. Nah, man. That's why. I don't want nobody ever saying, man, nigga put you on. No, we was just organically collaborating, and that's how you discovered me. But let's be clear, nigga, ain't nobody put me on. I'm the one that set up my own shit. I incorporated my own self. I own 100% of myself. Don't nobody owe me nothing. I don't owe nobody else nothing. I'm rocking. That's why I don't do, because y'all niggas can't even agree on how it is that you supposed to pay a nigga back if he put you, like, what do you mean? If I put somebody on, right, I ain't never put nobody on. They went on to become successful or whatever, or start their own platform. I'll give you an example. Aaron, right? I fuck with Aaron. Me and Aaron, when we started Fight Club, or not even Aaron, me, Aaron, and Brittany, they was just organically doing shit. I had already started Fight Club. And then Aaron came through and he was running that shit. A lot of people went off and they created their own platforms and stuff, right? They went off and they created their own platforms. They did their thing. Shout out to them. But here's the key. You ain't never heard me say no shit like, I put him on, or I put them on, or I put this person on. I ain't never did that shit in my life. We may have collabed together, we may have partnered together or anything like that. But I'm not going to sit here and say I put somebody on. They put themselves on. They was in a position to benefit. I was in a position to capitalize. We came together. We got a lot of money together. They moved on and they did their thing. We did good business. Don't nobody owe nobody nothing. And we ran it up. They did their thing. I did my thing. We all benefited from it. We keep it moving. But for me to sit here and be like, man, I put him on. No, he put himself on. He was in a position to win. And it wound up benefiting me. It benefited him. So I don't owe him nothing. He don't owe me nothing. I don't know how niggas be feeling like they got lifetime favors. Unless a nigga took care of your chick when you was in jail or they got you out of jail or some shit like that. How do people feel like somebody else got some hold on you for life? That shit is wild to me. I don't know what y'all talking about in the chat. Oh man, it depends on how big the favor is. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? It depends on how big the favor is. Bro, let me tell you something, bro. The people that work for me I can't think of nobody that had never worked for me, even on content creation, Aaron and them included, that did not make six figures. Now, what you do on your own time afterwards, that's on you. And see, that's the shit that y'all don't pay attention to, right? Because whether you successful or you not, the opportunity was there. The opportunity was there. It's platforms that I was a part of, and we ran that shit the fuck up. But then, when I'm not at that platform no more, it may not be as successful. It don't mean that we didn't run that shit up and we didn't partner on some dope shit. What you wind up doing after me is on you. You look, I'm not gonna be nobody's backpack. You can't stand on my shoulders forever. Nigga, I work for myself. I take care of myself. I do my own thing. Dog, it's on y'all to go and do your own fucking thing. You do you now. Niggas can't keep hitting me up like, yo, Ton, I need the alley-oop. No, my nigga. I'm dribbling on a different court now. I'm going in a whole nother direction. What you mean? Niggas got a lot of money. I mean, six figures. In less than a year, niggas was running the fucking bag up. What you want me to do? Nigga, you got the visibility. You got the opportunities now. Whatever y'all doing, what y'all taking from it, that's on you. That's on you. I can't do nothing. I'm me. I'm one fucking person. That's all I got. Khalik says, ain't no time limit when it comes to real shit between real individuals. Respect first, always. Nah, fuck that. It is a time limit. It is a time limit. I don't owe you niggas nothing. Niggas be hitting you up and they owe 50. Man, fuck that shit. What you mean it ain't no time limit? Y'all niggas keep it real by yourself, bro. Y'all keep it real by yourself. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. That's that hood shit, bro. What's up, Big? What's up, King?
What's going on, man?
What's up, bro?
What's the issue with Dame?
What do you mean? I don't know, Dame. I'm reacting to the content like everybody else. I just don't agree with him.
You don't agree? No, because we wanted an interview with you and Dame. You say you done with that. And then
I never asked for an interview.
No, we wanted one. And you saying you was gonna try to get that up, but now you saying nah.
Yeah, I thought about it, and then I changed my mind. I said, nah, I don't align with it. I don't agree, bro. I don't think it would be a good interview.
Well, what I do agree is that he's not adaptable. But with the him owing favors, it's not a favor. If you're my brother and I'm reposting your stuff on social media, you can't do the same.
What do you mean? There's levels to this shit. What do you mean? I don't have to repost your stuff. When did it become a requirement? As a matter of fact, me as an individual, I don't expect for nobody to repost my shit. I don't even ask nobody to repost my shit. If I'm a man and I talk all of this man shit and yo, a man and a king and he do this, what the fuck I need somebody to repost my shit for?
Because to get visibility. We on social media.
I understand why you wanted to, but I have never asked anybody, nobody, to post my shit, to say, to do this, whatever. I've never asked anybody to do that shit for me.
Okay.
I would rather get it 100% out of the mud because I don't want nobody to feel like they own. Don't come back to me feeling like you did something for me.
And that's nobody in your camp.
Nobody. Unless that's your job. If your job is a social media manager and I tell you to post something because I'm paying you, then that's different. But I've never reached out to somebody just on some brotherly shit like, hey, fam, post my shit. I've never done that shit before, ever in my life.
I hear you. That's a different perspective. I thought if we friends, we brothers, I helped you out. I'm posting your social media.
If I post it, it's out of love. But I personally never asked nobody to post my shit. And if somebody posts my shit, then they did that in their own doing. But I don't feel like I owe you nothing.
So it should be out of love.
No, it should be because that's what you want to do. But I'm not, I don't put no requirement. Don't nobody in the world owe me nothing. Nobody owes me nothing. Nobody. Zero. When did y'all get this entitlement shit from?
Nah, it wasn't no entitlement. It was just that he considered them as brothers, not as I owe you something.
I'm talking to niggas in the chat. I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking to the people in the chat. When did people feel like why do y'all feel like somebody owe y'all something?
Nobody owe us nothing, but if we consider ourselves as brothers and you're posting somebody else stuff on social media and you ain't posting mine and I'm your brother.
So now you niggas is watching to see what somebody else is getting in order to validate whether or not you should get reposted or not. That's weird to me. I don't know what them niggas' relationship is. I don't know why he posting them. They might have got paid to post that person. I don't care what nobody else is doing for somebody else. I'm not pocket watching to try to figure out how much this nigga making. I'm not trying to figure out, oh man, but you posted him before. You reposted they stuff. I don't give a fuck.
That's true.
Why am I checking to see and trying to equalize to see whether or not you looked out for him and why you shouldn't look out for me?
It's all on social media. So it's just like a question to yourself.
But I don't care what somebody is doing for somebody else. That's between them. And why you doing something for somebody looking to get something in return? If you gonna do it, then just do it.
I agree.
Man, I ain't never gonna get at a nigga and say, man, why you ain't post me? That shit is weak. That's wild. That is wild, bro. Y'all don't you don't think that that's wild?
Not really.
You want to be on camera?
Nah, not right now.
Okay, that's cool. You ain't got to be on camera, but that shit is wild, bro.
I don't think it's wild if we friends, especially coming up together. I don't think that's wild.
That's why I don't need no friends. Fuck a friend. I don't need no fucking friends. I got the people that work for me. I got my wife and I got my daughter. I don't need no fucking friends.
I agree.
I don't want no friends, nigga. I don't want no obligation to do something to you. If I do something, then I did it because I wanted to. And I ain't never asked a nigga to do something just on some GP shit. I don't even ask my own brothers to do no shit. We don't do that shit. We stand on our own too, all of us.
And you don't care if they do it or not.
Huh?
And you don't care if they do it or not. No.
Thought, no. I don't check to see if my brother posted my shit or none of that. Even when my brother was working with me at my businesses and stuff like that, I paid him. And he don't owe me nothing. And I don't owe him nothing because I paid him and then he came and performed the service based off of what I gave it to him.
I look at it like a win-win situation. It's a win-win.
Cool, but that's cool. But don't sit here and feel like a nigga owe you nothing. Nobody owe nobody nothing, bro.
I can understand that.
I don't know how y'all keep on trying to require stuff from people. That's weird to me. Because y'all grown men talking about somebody should do something. Like, How you gonna put a requirement on another grown man?
Not should, but it's a thought. Like he's saying, he don't know why they not posting him, but they'll post everybody else. And I'm the first person that put you in your movie.
I'm not checking for nobody. I'm not checking to see what you're doing for nobody else. That's that jealousy spirit. That's that spirit, bro. That shit is toxic, man.
No, because
no, in this content creation space, right? Kev was one of my best friends. When Kev did his collabs with other people, and I'm like, damn, that shit is dope, bro. Keep doing it or whatever. And he was rocking out with MTR, and then he rocked out with the lead attorney and shit. That wasn't the type of relationship that me and him had. I didn't need him to bring me on his platform. You know what I'm saying? I never looked at him and said, hey, man, that wasn't it. Anytime that we ever did any shit, it was on some G. When he would show up on the Beef Network, he would hit me up and say, hey, send a link. Hey, send a link. Send a link. I never hit him up like, hey, man, you want to come on the show or do that? That wasn't what it was. Anytime that he showed up, anytime that he did what he did, anytime that we talked, it was on some G shit. But it was never on no requirement. And I hated when people was coming after him like, man, I can't believe Kev ain't show this or he ain't do that. It's like, man, you a grown fucking man. Stand on your own 2 feet.
I agree.
So I don't know, man. I'm in a different space. I appreciate you, King.
Wait, hold on. Kevin never disrespected you either or said, I don't rock with you in
Correct.
another field.
And and if he did, then that would have just been between me and him. I wouldn't have said it publicly.
I appreciate that, Ando.
All right, big dog.
All right.
Let me see what we got here. Hold on. Zoe, what up? What up? What up?
Hey, what's good, man?
Chilling. What's the word?
Chilling. Now, I put the super chat for the to like more define it more clearly. Like the favor for a favor is the rule, but that doesn't necessarily translate well into business. So I think what you were saying just now is pretty much what I came up to say. It's like there's certain things you just don't put out there for everybody to hear, because if it's gonna be some type of back and forth, then that's behind closed doors. Because for me, the way I operate, it's like if I ask you for a favor, it's not for everybody to see. It's for between me and you, so that you are comfortable enough to say no.
Correct.
If it's not for you to say no, and that's what makes it a favor, is that you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. But if it's business involved and I'm holding you accountable to the business part, it's like, well, my business isn't flourishing. I can't take that and hold you accountable for it. I can't be salty with you because you not stepping up. I was asking you for a favor. I wasn't offering you a contract or a negotiation or something on that level. I'm asking you for a favor. Now, in friendship, that shit works. It works in friendship because within friendship, you can appreciate each other on the content of the content of
I
your
don't even ask my
friends
friends
being there.
Bro. And the reason that is because I just believe that stuff gets so convoluted and that people feel like even in friendships, them shits turn sour a lot of times depending on, what happens. So let's say, for example, somebody has been your friend for a while and you wind up becoming successful. Like who it happened to a lot of times? It happened to athletes and NFL players and NBA players. The guy becomes successful. The other people be like, man, why you ain't put me on, man? You know what I'm saying? I got a business I want to start. And that business might be a trash fucking idea. But then that guy don't know how to say no because you feel entitled to his success because you knew him before he blew up. That shit not fair. That's not fair to put that requirement on him to come and save you or save the hood. Nigga, you a grown fucking man. Now, that don't mean if he decide to do so, then he just doing it out of the goodness of his heart. But at the same time, I don't feel like he owe nobody nothing. And that's what make people like my man, what's Jay-Z's guy? Memphis Bleak. That's what make Bleak so dope. That's what make Tony Yayo so dope. It's because when they speak about that guy, they're like, man, Hove don't hold me nothing. Now Hove put Bleak on. But Bleak be like, man, Hove is Hove, and if he don't never do nothing for me, man, I'm just appreciative of the fact that he around. He don't say that he owe me nothing. Yayo be like, man, listen, man, I'm traveling the world. I couldn't ask for nothing different. This is crazy. I would never turn on this guy. I would never feel like he owe me nothing. I would never put any kind of requirement on me. That's what make the difference between niggas like that and niggas that's running around talking about this person owe me. It's like, what you mean?
I mean, well, the thing is, the character traits of people that are that loyal do come into play because the favor is already implied. Like Jay is a good example because he said Bleak could be one hit away his whole career. As long as I'm alive, he a millionaire.
Yeah, but
And
that's
even if
just
I
out of
dies
the
in my
that's just
will,
out of that's the
but
goodness of his heart, but that don't mean that he owe
no,
him.
I'm identifying that. I'm not saying, and you're right. Don't mean that. I'm identifying the fact that it's that the favor is already implied because he already identified the character trait of Bleak ahead of time. He knew how to rock with Bleak the same way 50 knew how to rock with Yayo versus Banks and Buck. You already have a rapport, a relationship with somebody that makes it specifically that you know you can rock with them in that way.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I'm gonna leave after this. There's a story in The Richest Man in Babylon where this man who inherits like he gets like 70 gold pieces from the king or whatever,
Yeah.
and then his sister is like, my husband wants to be this, my husband da da da, and she's asking for the favor for the husband,
Yeah.
and the dude, he doesn't know what to do with it. He's like, I don't want to disappoint my sister, and that's where the conflict of the favor comes in. Is like, I do want to be there for my sister, but I don't necessarily understand that her husband is going to I don't know if he's gonna mess this up. He's gonna mess up the bat. He wants me to use my gold to invest in him, and maybe he's gonna be great. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But when he talked to a banker, he went to get advice. First important thing, he went to get advice from somebody who loans money to understand how to do a favor if he was going to. And the
Yeah.
guy gave him this advice. He said, ask your sister's husband if he knows, if he has the experience to do what is it you're asking him to do, and if he thinks it's worth 10 years of work for you, because that's what that gold means to you.
Yeah.
Does his work mean 10 years of gold for you? Because the gold that you got from the king, you're not going to see that again.
Yeah.
That means a certain thing to you. You'd have to work 10 years to make that gold by yourself, and you have it right now. Is it worth 10 years of work for you to be able to make that decision? And when people
Mm-hmm.
ask for favors, they don't consider what it took for the failures and the wins that it took for you to make what you to make what you asking of them, even if it's just time. And that's the boundary that gets messed up when it comes to trying to cross the business and the friendship, is that what worker is someone really willing to put in, and how grateful can they be, and how are you going to not left with the feeling of resentment towards somebody that you supposedly care about.
I
I
don't
wouldn't
have
want
no
to put myself
resentment
in that
towards
space.
nobody. Only kind of resentment that I could possibly have is if somebody do me dirty and do me wrong. That has nothing to do with whether or not they give me a favor. But I appreciate you. Thank you, Zoe.
Oh, no doubt.
Appreciate you. Let me see what we got. I got my dog Slimmy in the building. Always tapping in. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this popping. What up,
What
Slim?
up? What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. What's the word?
Ah, man, I was just listening, man, and like, I gotta be honest, man. I think Dame Dash is a very authentic person.
Mm-hmm.
I think very genuine, but I also know that's his downfall, man. He's too outspoken. Like, he get himself in so much trouble. I don't understand the point to sharing a video where you was clowning somebody to show how cool y'all are. If you want him to do a favor for you, like, don't that's not gonna make him help you.
No, but these dudes in the chat feel like, oh no, you should. Man, listen, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the way Kevin Hart progressed from those two movies, he might should I mean, honestly, the most he really should do is just be like, oh yeah, Dame gave me my lead roles. That really put me on. I can't really I can't really say what he should do beyond that because like
I
really,
didn't know that they.
I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do.
I don't either. I don't know how much of a favor that these people require. I
Yeah.
just don't understand it, bro.
I'm gonna tell you the most genuine thing I ever seen, like, because it kind of directly affected the way I looked at somebody, and that's Scott Muscuddy. And
Who?
I'm Kid Cudi.
Oh yeah,
Kid
I got
Cudi.
you.
So, he's from Cleveland.
Yeah,
Basically, what he did once he got on, he just wanted to reach back, and he was just like, "Who the hottest dude in Cleveland right now?" He just wanted to put somebody. He just wanted to pay it forward. So he
yeah,
reached back, got Chip the Ripper.
yeah. I remember Chip.
Yeah,
That's something,
Chip
man.
was.
My homeboy was trying to convince me Chip next, man. Chip next. I was like, man, y'all niggas is insane. I don't see it the way y'all niggas see it, but I remember Chip.
Yeah, and like he reached back and he put Chip on.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, so does everybody have to do that?
Now
No,
here's the thing, though. Chip never blew up.
no. Well, he did, but on a lower tier than what Kid Cudi did.
He
Like
never blew up.
no, he not mainstream. No.
Correct.
He's
So
still
here's the thing. Now, if Chip come back and say, I don't know, man. I don't feel like nobody owe nobody or nothing. Like Cuddy did it out of the goodness of his heart.
yeah.
Chip had his opportunity. Now, if Chip would have exploded, could Cuddy come back and say, "Well, Chip owe me"? That's the fucked up part that we talking about right now. Cause see, we never say the nigga owe you that didn't become successful. We always say, "Well, that guy owe me because he wanted to become." I thought you was doing it out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah, that is a catch-22, man.
If Chip would have blew
That's
up, could
22.
Cuddy hold that over his head for the rest of his life and say, "Man, my nigga, you owe me"?
But yeah, I do gotta agree with you. Like, how long does this last?
That's
Like,
what
how
I'm
long?
asking. That's what I'm trying to
Like,
understand. When do the favors run out? Cause
yeah,
niggas is married. They got their own families now. They got their own thing, businesses. You was winning.
yeah,
I was winning. When do the favors end?
yeah. And it's like, and it's crazy with Dame because like, it's just the timing, man. Rockefeller, like the whole thing with Cam and Mace, and then like this, it just seems like so much of this era of hip hop is being destroyed, or like I ain't gonna even say destroyed, but it's just going away so badly. Like, cause Puffy is just, oh man, he deteriorating day by day with everything.
Yeah, I agree. But Puffy is just. I mean, Puff had his run.
Yeah,
He should be
Dame,
out.
Dame is disgruntled because of the way things ended, and like I
Yeah.
guess they kind of like
For me,
that's
I've always believed that the best way to show somebody if you pissed off at something or an industry or whatever is to become successful again or to do it without them. And
yeah,
like
and that
I've always been negatively motivated, and I've always been on some shit like, oh, okay, y'all don't believe in me? Well, watch how I absolutely take over everything. And so that negative motivation is the thing that propels me forward, man. I don't need nothing from no fucking body, bro. I'm not asking for nothing. I don't want nothing. I don't need no favors. I don't need niggas to pull a favor for me and none of that shit. I'm gonna do my thing, bro. I'm gonna do my
yeah,
thing.
and
But
that's how
but that's why I just don't want nobody coming back feeling like I owe them shit. If anything, it's a bunch of people that I could say owe me something contractually, but I just be letting niggas live. I'd be letting niggas do their thing. Like, man, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm gonna do my own thing.
man. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, man, you be real quiet about things, man, because like it's straight. Like what was that stream like 2 weeks ago? That whole Royce thing, bro. Like I
I
was,
don't care because I don't have to say it. Like people that's behind the scenes know. I don't have to say nothing. I don't even want you to say it. I'm gonna just keep it that on the low. And it is what it is because however things is gonna play out is the way it's gonna play out. But we all gonna get it the way we gonna get it or we not. And I don't need nobody, You know what I'm saying? I don't need none of that shit.
Yeah.
I got people, honestly, right now in my phone. It be people texting me the entire time that I'll be on the show and shit, right? And like some big time people. Um, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing about it is that if they like if they show love, then they show love. If we don't, then we don't. We just cool behind the scenes. Unless we decide, you know what, it makes sense for me to do this and for you to do that or whatever. But I don't need to like, you know what I'm saying? They don't owe me nothing. Just
Yeah.
because we cool. Or just because
No.
I might have said something, or you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody owe me nothing, bro. Not one person on this earth. Not one person on this earth. And if they did, then we can settle it in court. Other than that, don't nobody owe me nothing.
Yeah, I think Dame's approach is kind of off, and he's gonna always, and like I said, I think he's a very genuine dude, but he's gonna always come off as bitter when he doing stuff like this, man. It's gonna
Yeah.
always like, but this is the other part of being a genuine person. This is the other side of it, because you take things too personal.
Yeah.
You can't take business personal. You cannot take business personal. You got to look at it as business, and you better keep it moving and to progress. Like you better keep it moving, man, or you gonna be stuck. Like it seems like Dame is like right now, and I really hate seeing him look like this, and he just looked crazy on that show with Math Hoffa, man. That just looked crazy to me, man.
Yeah, it's somebody had sent it to me, and it was long because it wasn't no timestamps in there, but I wanted to check it out, just to kind of go over it because I ain't seen nothing else that I really wanted to look at or whatever. But I don't know, man. It's weird. Like I remember one. It seemed like I ain't never seen him say it, so I'm never going to accuse him of it. But it seemed like Jim Jones was kind of mad that Mace and Cam had reunited. You know what I'm saying? And started getting money and shit together.
No, you know Jim Jones mad
It
about that. He
seemed like it. I'm not saying that he was. It seemed like
mad.
Jim was. It seemed like Jim was kind of salty about that shit. And
He is.
it was like, damn, what you mean? Like them niggas is winning. They winning. Like I wouldn't be salty about that.
Man, it's because of the way things went, man. Like all the hip hop glory is just being split apart because I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
You know what the funniest part about it is? I think that if anybody actually did do something for somebody, they wouldn't be appreciative of it. I don't think it
Nope.
would matter.
Nope.
When Puff started giving people their publishing back, nobody said nothing positive about Puff. It created
Nope.
even more. It created even more of a headache for him because motherfuckers started talking shit about him even more.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
Puff start giving people their publishing back for whatever reason, like
Yep.
it's all contractual, but people started talking big shit about Puff. Which,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not even a Puff fan, but people start coming out doing interviews about him. You know who I like? It's certain people that I won't even interview, right? Like I seen everybody reaching out to what's my man name, Gene Deal.
I ain't hip to him.
Gene Deal is Puff's former bodyguard.
Oh yeah, hell no, 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 no.
Gene
Oh
Deal spends every single online moment telling everything that he could possibly tell about what the fuck was going on. I guess he was Big's bodyguard, but he worked for Puff. I don't know. But he spends every waking moment talking about anything that he can find about Puff. I
that's
don't want
insane.
them type of niggas around me, bro.
I just saw him like exposing like the whole thing with him and Usher. It's just like, yo, I don't even understand why he did it. It's just like, wait, you worked for me, bro. You worked for me, and you
Shit is
exposing.
wild, bro. Shit is
You're
wild. That's why I'm so leery, my nigga. I'm so leery of the people that I keep that I have, like people that come in the new in my life, new friends and shit. You gotta sign all
Yeah,
kind of shit, bro.
yeah, man. I mean, I'm blessed to like really have genuine people around me, man, that just want to see me do better and be happy,
Yeah.
man. But I definitely agree with you. I just be like that. Yeah, your boy made the song. No new friends. That's your boy song.
Don't
But
trust
that
none of these
real
niggas, bro.
thing, that is a real thing. It's just like, damn, man. What are you really here for peace or what?
Yeah.
What? Like, yeah,
Yeah. Like if I was to ever fall, I understand that it'd be way more niggas rooting for the downfall than the success.
oh, that's sick.
That's why I just lit this shit up, bro. I'm gonna run that shit up. I'm gonna have a great time, and I'm gonna take my run, and I'm gonna run, nigga. Fuck
Man,
that. All of
great.
this other shit. Most of that other shit is fake, bro.
I agree. You gotta run it up, man. You better,
Yeah.
cause man, motherfuckers, they ain't genuine, bro, and they don't want to win. And it's
Well, it
always
is a lot of people that do want to see me win. But I just know that it's a lot of hate watchers, just as many as it is people that want to see you win. So
yeah. That's
it is what it is. It's just come with the game. But yeah. All right, Slimmy, I appreciate you, bro.
you already know. Always, bro.
All
Take it
right,
easy,
big
man.
dog. Yeah. Let me let's see. Mikhail. Let's see what Mike is saying. One sec. What up, bro?
Hey, can you hear me good?
I can hear you. What's happening?
Hey, I just got three things to say, man. One of them is that, man, Dame, he just seemed, I don't know, he just seemed, I put it in the chat, but man, he just seemed kind of butthurt, man.
He seemed
He
like
just
that to
seemed
me too.
butthurt. He just seemed butthurt, man. Like, and don't get me wrong, he may or may not have a reason behind it, but it just it's all debatable and speculation to me. So if you can't, it's nothing factual about it.
Yeah.
Just being
Yeah,
um
I agree.
the second thing is man, you mentioned something once before. You was like doing business with friends and family and things of that nature. They don't know how to take out their hat.
Which is one of the reasons why
They
I
don't know,
separated.
and I completely understand, and I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the third thing is, man, man, I need a coaching call, bro.
Did you send me an email?
Man, I blew your email up.
Wait, what's your name in the email?
Man,
Feel like you're trying to
my
butter
name.
me up.
Nah, I ain't trying to buddy up,
What's
man.
your
I'm just being
email
honest.
address?
Shit, I don't want to say it out in public.
All right, send it to me right now. Send me an email right now, and then I'll start. He must have pulled it up on his phone that he was talking on. Fi Brown loved Dame. I could tell Fi. Fi loves Dame, y'all. So when Fi says, I guess he's sending me an email right now. What Fi says, y'all got to take that with a grain of salt because Fi loved Dame. I don't know why he loved Dame so much, but he does love Dame. Blaze Skywalker says Dame is a victim of his own ego. Most of us are victims of our own self-inflicted wounds. Paper Soldiers and Death of a Dynasty were Kev's first movies. Dame grabbed him fresh out of the Laugh Factory in Philly. Then Kev took off just like Jay and Kanye did. Just saying Dame had a great eye for talent. appreciate you, Fi. The bias is clearly there. But you ride for your guy. You ride for your guy. I can't say that you don't ride for your guy. You rock with him. I know you do. I know you do. And that's cool. I don't have no problem with that. You ride for your guy, bro. All right, listen, I don't see nobody else in the back. I'm glad we had a little bit of a. I got one girl on my team though. Hold on, let me pull her up. Let me just showcase her real quick. I got one girl on my. That's all I need. Give me a bad chick with the right sentiment that want to see me win. I could take on all you niggas. Give me a bad chick with the sentiment, with the right sentiment, and I could take on all of y'all. All of y'all. I could take on all of y'all. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. This was a great show because we got differences of opinions. Everybody can get their thoughts off, whether we agree or disagree. We don't censor nobody. We don't tell nobody that they can't say what they want to say. So it's dope over here. This is why I like After Hours, because everybody not going to agree, especially with me. Some people going to agree with me sometimes. Some people going to disagree with me other times. And that's cool because I give y'all the platform, hopefully, to where y'all feel comfortable talking. And then I could talk shit back to y'all. But it's all love, man. We all love. It's all love. It's dope. And I was on here for a long time. I was on here for a very, very, very long time. So shout out to the chat. Shout out to the callers. Don't worry about it. I got thick skin. We gonna be all right. So listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all found value. And yeah, man, we have fun here. We're not in the echo chamber. As you can see, the people that rock with me actually be disagreeing with me sometimes too. And that's okay. Because we don't agree to 100% with anything anybody says. So that's cool. We rock it. But we don't take it personal. We not thin-skinned. We not tripping. We passionately argue our points, and then we all friends at the end of the day. So I just want to tell y'all that I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. I do. I genuinely appreciate that y'all find this to be entertaining and fun, and we can talk about different stuff. And then we still friends at the end of the day because it's not personal. You know what I'm saying? And so as long as nobody is attacking anybody on some shit, some personal shit, like, family or nothing like that, then we can just keep having a good time. And it's different. It's different over here. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Stock Club tomorrow on the Patreon. I love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting the platform. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Shout out to every last one of y'all that ever even put anything in the chat or is just watching. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.